right, we here, y'all. How's it going? Hope everybody's okay. Just putting up some last finishing touches. Tracy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We just trying to get things in order here.
I get it. I get it.
So we're cool. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, just trying to get some stuff in here. We got one person coming on, so be a bunch of people in a minute. Get this all going.
Everybody that's logging on, let's get some thumbs up, some hearts.
Right.
Share, and get involved in the conversation.
Right. All right. So we're here now. Literally, just wanted to have a few words tonight. Everybody's on here looking, people coming on. One of our hosts or members will not be here tonight. Tanya will not be here tonight. She's got some stuff going on.
Okay.
But other than that, Scott, Scott, Avery, and some of those other people will be on here to make it work. It's quite clear to me that there's been a lot of news.
Oh yes.
A lot of news about this one particular lady I'm going to talk about, and I did not know who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with the funds of a county or a city. Her name is Tiffany Henyard. I don't know if you heard about her.
I think I have. Is that Chicago?
She's in Illinois. She's
Yes.
It's a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah. Appropriating funds.
Yeah, she was misappropriating funds, and then what she was doing was she was misappropriating them, but then she was also spending them.
Yes.
So she wasn't just putting them in places where they couldn't find them. They found them. They know where they are.
Right.
And
true.
They are in her pocket, or somebody's casino has them, or
right.
Something's going on. And I just could not believe that Black woman who has such a powerful position where normally it's men, you get up there and basically, from what I saw, from what I read, from the research I've done for looking at the different videos, paying attention to all of that stuff, you have literally gone and made it your business. And basically just you spend everybody's money.
Yes, you did.
And was arrogant about it.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. Like, hey, this is. She was real bossy about it.
She was bossy about it, and then I think the thing with that was, after being bossy about it, what a lot of people weren't really privy to was the fact that after, what's up, Johnny? After she was found out, I believe they said that she basically fled the city. Then she fled the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, they after her because, and again, I say that you are in a position where you are like in a position that men are only given this opportunity, and when a woman has it, I believe her power is limited somewhat. But you went over and basically took it upon yourself to just take this money. And then if you hear how she talks on the board, how she talks in the chair,
yeah,
I mean, you don't get no more hood than that. And she was just like, pay me what you owe me. And I mean, she was getting real, as they say back in the day, long time, she was getting buck with it,
Right.
And I think one of the biggest things about this was she had basically taken it upon herself to make it look, it was just basically like, we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to make it work. and we're just going to do what we do, and we're just going to go about it the way we go about it. So now that it's become this thing, you're looking at it like from a standpoint of, here we are again, a black person has power in
And
a city.
misuses it.
Yeah, and then you misuse it. And now what you've done is you've made it possible for them to never look at a female in that position.
Right.
You put
Absolutely.
yourself in a posture where you basically have to go and rectify yourself and put yourself in a position where you're going to have to fight harder more than ever now because of the fact that you just decided that you're not going to um, just adhere to, and still in the money she was already making, from what I understood, she was making close to like almost $250,000 a year,
Yeah.
being this person. And I don't know about nobody else, but that's enough for me. Like, all right,
Yes.
let's work there, invest it, do something else with it.
Exactly.
But I think now that the biggest we just have to get to a place where we understand that, when people are in power like that, when they deal with stuff like that, we have to really look at the fact that, hey, now it's coming to a point where we are very much so looking to, get involved
Hmm.
in politics and all this other stuff. But we got people like that who have a shoe in. You had to,
Right. So
and you
my
just.
my question is this: were there any red flags at the top?
Mhm.
Did they see anything going in to say, she may not be the best candidate, for this position?
Right.
That
If she's reacting like this, I would have to say that at some point she showed who she was before they
she
gave her
had
that
to.
office,
Absolutely.
because you can't be this wild and it not be shown somewhere. I don't know their particular way of how they do politics, how people are brought in, how people are what do you call it, how they're sworn in. I don't
Hmm.
know anything about that. But what I do know is that when you get to a place where you honestly have somebody like that, they show you kind of who they are in the
That's
beginning.
right.
They are very quick to not put on a show. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And they will go ahead and do whatever they need to do to prove to you what kind of person they are. And I guess for the most part, looking at how she is now, I think
Hmm.
that might even be somewhat of a nervous. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. I know me as a person, if I'm looking at something and I'm really standing here and I'm saying, okay, I'm in trouble. I've been, basically found out by the authorities that I've been misappropriating funds of hundreds of people in a county or
Hmm.
city, and I'm basically now looking at jail time. I'm
Right.
looking at, being put on probation and all that stuff. Then you're not gonna see me talk about pay me what you want. I'm not.
No.
I'm gonna be like, real quiet,
Yeah.
and just say, okay, the bottom line is I'm not going to sit and be put in that position where I feel like, hey, this is what it is. This is what's going on.
Right.
And reality would suggest that um, we don't have to sit here and go back and forth about what's real. The bottom line is if you took money, lest you give it back. And even when you give it back, once it's given back, they still want you to do the time because you sat
That's
up there and
right.
you took money that didn't belong to you. And I think one of the biggest things about this whole thing is that you have an opportunity to to do something positive, and
Yeah.
you had that, and then you just went and took it and just went left, and you
That's
said,
crazy.
okay, this is what the situation is, this is what we're doing, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And I just personally feel that, for somebody to have done this and gone this route, the bottom line is that now you're going to make it harder for Black people,
That's true.
to get in that position. You're going to make it harder for women to get in that
Yes,
position. You're going
black
to put,
people in that position.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. They already, the town looks like a lot of blacks ain't there anyway.
They were very upset. Let me say that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
yeah,
very upset. You could
right.
see it in the interviews that they did. You could see it when they were at the town hall and they were talking about it and all. You could see how upset these people were. They was
Yeah.
like, this is our hard-earned money, and she's just taking it and blowing it, throwing it away, doing whatever she wants. I forgot how much she spent on Amazon. I mean, tons of money on Amazon.
$40,000
Yeah, it was
or
40
like
or
50.
42,000. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And she had done, she put a dent in some stuff. And I think one of the biggest things about this is that a lot of people just seem to insist upon overlooking certain things. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, when you have it to where you have that money set up to where, you know, you're the city or the county is putting that stuff in your hands, and you just decide that, you know, you're going to misappropriate funds or whatever, and you're going to go about it that way, then the reality of it is this: you know, you don't deserve that position. You don't
That's
deserve, you know, that they should never let you back. Now I say again, now we're going to this point. You know, she misappropriated funds, and you know, I think it was at the sum of almost $3 million plus, maybe.
yes.
She misappropriated funds, but the reality of it is this: now you're at a point where here we go again with Donald Trump. Here we go again with, you know, some of the
Right.
guys that got away with all of this. You know, she hasn't been convicted yet. You know, she hasn't been found guilty. You know, until they come at some point. What's up, Scott? Until they come at some point. Um, where they are basically dealing with the reality of, you know, what has transpired. She is innocent, but you know they're gonna lock you up first. They say innocent
That's
until proven
true.
guilty. It's the other way around. It's guilty until proven innocent.
That is right.
You know, because if I'm innocent, then there's no reason to detain me. There's no reason to put me
Right.
behind bars if I'm innocent until proven guilty. But that, what I called it was, you know, that's lazy work, because now what's going on is, you know, you'll just hold me until you find out I'm innocent. That way I ain't got to go looking for you, you know, so we just gonna hold you. But I think that it's a very trying, nasty, I was gonna say toxic, but more so poisonous mentality that she has spewed into that situation.
Absolutely.
Where, you know, now you just messed it up for so many people.
Yeah.
You know, and as a result of that, now I sit here and try to figure out how can we get back in there after you done did what you did, you know, and it just comes across as very, very, you know, unnecessary. So I think one of what I see in this political area is that there's a lot of exposure going on. If you're paying attention, this is not the time to be in office acting stupid, because they already trying to get rid of folk to put up folk in a position. And I think that's one of the biggest situations. It is just clear that, you know, the bottom line is that she has, you know, pretty much ruptured the fabric of, you know, this position, and I just think now she's put herself in such harm's way.
She did. She really did.
To deal with this, and as a female, it's like, you know, you would think you'd be the first one not to do this. You know, there was another mayor in Oakland, I forgot her name, but she was a mayor in Oakland, and she was another one that was just tearing the city up. She's the reason why the A's are not in Oakland anymore. San Francisco now harbors the Golden State Warriors. And, you know, there's so much going on in the city of Oakland. This lady was taking money. She was, you know, out here just doing some rambunctious stuff. And the city lost so much to where Oakland is like a death trap.
Man.
You know, whereas once Oakland was the place to be, now it's the place not to be. Don't ever get caught over there, because it's just so bad. And, you know,
Is that bad up there now?
It's Oakland is horrible. I mean, you can get robbed at 12 noon out there, like, for real. Like it's not. And what's crazy about Oakland is it's not gang related or anything like that. It's just people who just don't have anything else to live for.
Okay.
It has gotten that bad.
Yeah.
No, they got nothing to do. They got nothing to. The businesses are closed. You know, after COVID,
That's
a lot of
crazy.
people moved out. And, you know, Oakland at one point was considered the mecca for all things, you know, between food, music, culture. You know, they have a culture in Oakland. And there's a place called Jack London Square that's over there that literally, you between Wednesday and Sunday, you couldn't even get down there because it was so popping down there. It was so popular. But the reality of it is that at this particular point, it's like, yo, you know, we're just not going to do anything for the city. You know, back in the day, MC Hammer bought like 300 cop cars over there. He was spending all that money. And, you know, it's amazing to me how they talk about how broke he is, but they don't talk about what he did to be broke.
They
You know,
never.
he bought 300 cars for Oakland. He was building up homeless shelters, and you know, then he was turning around. He was racing horses so he can make more money, so he can give back to the community. They don't ever talk about that. They only talk about he broke. He broke. Well, his kind of broke is not regular broke.
Right. How he went broke was helping.
Was helping people.
Right.
You know, he had 300 people on stage at one
Yeah.
time.
That's right.
Nobody was on that stage.
Right.
Absolutely, they were not on stage for free.
Right.
You know, and people used to say, you know, Hammer's a sellout. You know, no. Hammer was selling out. He was selling out arenas. He was selling out, you know, whole campsites, and you know, he was doing that kind of stuff. You know, but it's just really hard sometimes when you try to get to the bulk of the situation, and you're not really looking at the terms that, you know, right now what we're doing is we're looking at this lady that literally came out and had an opportunity to really fix and change some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of her changing it, she got greedy, and now feds are looking for her. You know, and now you know, people are looking, and I think that what's really dangerous about this whole thing is that we have made it our business to be sure that we are always ready to defend our wrong. You know, always ready to say, okay, you know, I believe if she just came up and said, listen, look, I made a mistake. I ain't, but she's being so arrogant.
Right. I think if she really did that, the whole thing would have been different.
Yeah.
If she would have said, you know, hey, look, my hands are dirty. I'm sorry. I think the townspeople would see it different. I think, you know, she would still have to pay it back, do her time and all of that stuff, but it would just be better. But if she's going about it is absolutely insane.
Right. I think that was another thing that it just, to me, it just became so, she has such a callous attitude, you know, towards it. Very prideful, very arrogant, very, you know, just, you know,
like,
I mean, just
owe to her.
That's why she kept saying, pay me what you owe me. I'm like, first of all, you are the mayor. You are who owes you anything? You know, you have a service job, basically.
Right.
You know, so who owes you anything? Why do you think people owe you anything? Nobody owes you anything, you know, and I just think it's to, you know, at least at this point, you just need to stop trying to figure out a way to look like you have control of it, and stop trying to look like you can handle it. Stop trying to look. Here's the reality of it. Stop trying to look like a dude.
Yeah.
You know, and just be a female and be soft about it. You know, just say, listen, I just want to sit down and have a conversation with her. But now what you messed up was you turned around and fled the country. So now they got to go across the water. And
yeah.
You know,
it's going bad.
Yeah. I just I just really believe in my heart that one of the biggest things about this right now is understanding the fact that now you got to go not just do time, but you went across the borders. You went across. You're trouble now. You know,
a whole lot for no reason.
Yeah, you listen. I watch on TikTok sometimes. I watch these people who have traffic stops, right? And the cops are even willing to let them go if they don't have a driver's license, if they don't have insurance, or the cops will let them go. But they turn around and get so obnoxious. And the cop says, why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you jumping around? You're making this harder. This was a simple trial. I was going to give you a citation. You know, you could have just went to court and just been like, all right, you know, listen, I didn't. There was so many ways around it. And she could have did the same thing. There's so many ways around it. There's so many things you could have done. But instead of you just humbling yourself and just saying, you know, this is what it is, this is what happened, you know, now they could see you arrogant. They have the videos and you talk about pay me what you owe me. You know, and this is what she said. I'm cutting the pay in half for anybody who comes in the seat after me. So where she's making $200,000 and some odd $1,000 a year, she wants to cut that in half so that the next person that comes up, she basically doesn't, she wants to cut their stuff. Like she literally wants to cut it. She wants to cut it. She wants to cut it.
Insane.
And I'm like, sweetheart, we don't even know if your voice is gonna even matter in a few minutes once they come over and put them silver Chanels on you. We don't know what that's gonna be. And if she still has the authority even after that to have made this mistake and then turn around and you can still have jurisdiction to say who gets what pay and all of that other stuff, then I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm literally confused. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know what any of this says. I don't know. And as a result of that, I guess one of my biggest things is to just pay attention to what happens now, because I think what she's really doing is trying to cover up way more than what we know.
Right.
I think there's more to it than that. I think she's trying to, put herself in a position where she, it's amazing to me how people want mercy when it's them. But when it's somebody else, the first thing they do is always want to slam the down. They want,
point the finger.
It's just amazing to me. I try my hardest sometimes to really understand, but people have the audacity to be arrogant when you call them on their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you call them on their stuff. You tell them how you feel about what's going on. You tell them, listen, you're taking money out of the government. You're taking money out of. You're trying to tell them, listen, this is wrong, and they become so arrogant. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And some females can be very hard with that. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I know about women who are in power, some of them, is that they are so busy trying to prove that they can do what a man can do, that they end up losing their female influence and they lose that softness that got you hired in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And as a result of that, it's like, I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you. It's literally just me saying, how can you sit up here and be caught stealing money but be arrogant at the same time? You caught even before they catch you, even before they put you in that position to be caught, you literally have to get to a place where you are okay with the fact that, just stand up for your stuff. You're just doing way too much right now. You're trying to show people you ain't bothered. I ain't this and I ain't. No, sweetheart. You are in a position where you are about to be jacked up.
Yeah, you going to jail, man.
Because you didn't just take black people's money, you took white people's
everybody's money.
Right. You took everybody's money. Right.
And I'm telling you now, the one thing I know about taking white folks' money, they don't take kindly to that at all. Because at the end of the day,
take
it is
all
what
they want,
it
but they
is.
surely don't want you taking theirs.
Yeah. They literally have to get to a point where we always say, listen, this is the gist of it. You are trying to literally damage the fiber of what this country has been built on. Yep. And guess what? Let's be real. Let's be clear about it. The whole significance of all of this is to let you know that, particularly because we gave you black girl, we gave you black woman, we gave you already got this other black girl trying to run for president. You got a position that she don't have. And you've already been put in that position where you have this power. But now you want to turn around and literally take yourself and insert yourself into a situation where you think you can get away with taking our money.
That's insane.
And run. You just got $40,000 on Amazon.
Yes.
What did you buy? $40,000 on Amazon. You took $40,000 and put it on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what was in your cart? Like, what
would your cart look like?
What happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, what actually happened? Where did you get off thinking that this was okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, this was it's unbelievable. It's unnerving, and I think one of the biggest things is that you have to just take it. I don't know, Scott. Maybe you should speak on it because I just don't understand any of it.
With what? With all this dealing with people stealing?
Yeah.
I mean,
To be quite honest, I don't know what there is to be said about any of this. I mean, it's been going on for time and eternity. And Kevin, you know, being from Patterson, we've dealt with this on a number of situations. Um, where I mean, it was just blatant. And again, you go back to talking about the arrogance of people and how they flaunt it in front of you. It's like, come on, people, what are we doing here? And the sad part is the country is in such a space right now that we need to be rebuilt, and we need people to have trust in our political leaders. And for them to be doing stupid stuff like this, I'm like, it's unbelievable. And I will say for anybody that's watching, it's not just on the political realm that they're doing this foolishness. It's happening in
No,
education, it's happening in corporate, it's happening in the church, it's happening everywhere. People that get these positions of power think that they rule the world. But all I'll say is the hand that rocks the cradle is not always the hand that rules the world. Don't let that old adage fool you. It's not always true. And when you continue to let the power run to your head and think that just because you got the position now, like I said about somebody else that I've been dealing with this past couple of days, I said the same people that they like literally tried to buck at and they got big against are the same people when they were going up. Those are the same people that they're gonna see falling down, and now they have no allies in those people. The ones that they should be expecting that are gonna help them. Ain't nobody gonna be here to help you because now you've shown me who you really are.
Mhm. I think where we also get jacked up is like you said, a lot of people do that. Pride is a very big thing,
It is.
and it's not just a big thing in, like you said, the corporate world or church, but it's a big thing. Period. And I know, and I'm back on this lady because I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm speaking from I do not like her, and I can tell I don't like her because of how she was talking. And I want to get this thing set up to where I can play these videos so you all
yeah,
can see the narcissism that was coming out of that woman when they basically were just she was doing an interview with somebody and somebody was like, what about the immaculate spending that you've been doing? She was like, all that hood
mm,
stuff. And Tracy asked this question earlier. Who let this girl on that board? Because I'm
That's the
pretty
question.
sure if she's acting like this now, I know she did something to show that she
had
is like that before she got
had to
sworn in.
be, had to be. Now
There's no way.
my question is, and I don't mean any harm. Did you get there the right way, or did you just kind of
Okay, well then there's that.
hunt your way up the ladder?
And that's
Then
usually what it is. When they start acting like that, they've always hunched their way up the ladder.
Right.
And they have nothing else to show, so they start acting stupid.
That's right.
And
and
rather
this is
than
what
showing my cards and saying I don't have a good hand, they rather try to fake everybody out. And all you're doing is just showing us really how dumb you are.
Right.
and the silliness of all of it only comes and stems to this particular point when you again I've been speaking this for the last 7 minutes, for us to have shoeing and be in a position where you're spending these people's money as if you were not going to get caught. And I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I believe that the reason why she's kind of whatever is because she thinks that these people are too dumb to understand. Now,
Yep.
what I do know is that small towns like this, I want people to really understand this. Whoever watches this later, I want you to understand that when you are dealing with small towns, please hear this. The smaller towns are more concerned about their money than the big
Yes, sir.
cities.
Yes,
True.
sir.
You understand what I'm saying? They're way more concerned. I know I put $5 in little Joey's college fund, and I don't see that $5 no more.
Right.
Where is that money at? I know I put $10 in Rebecca's fund for going to school or whatever. I know I did it. Where's that money? So $10 is way more important to a small town than
Yep.
$100,000 to a big city.
That's true.
And when you're out here trying to take a small town's money, they're gonna give you a large East Side whooping because you took their money, their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Scott, y'all know this. You know this, Tracy. You're down south. But you know, when you go to a town and you see those big water towers,
Yes.
and the police station is right next door to the mail office, and you know, or the post office, and then you go over here, and everybody goes to that one grocery store. Where,
Yep.
hey man, you can't play with them.
No.
You can't play with them
You're not
because
getting-
everybody knows everybody. No.
Right. And
I think
another thing is that I'm not sure what direction you were really going to go in next, but the value of a dollar has changed so much. At this point, people, you're fighting over money that isn't even worth what you even think. It's worth so much less than what you're thinking it is. What in the world is going on with you? I mean,
right.
I had to tell somebody that about, about playing and about getting money and stuff like that. And I'm like, you're upset about something that's not even worth that anymore.
Right.
Let's just cut it out. So yeah, the value has changed. Like,
right.
And these people, like you say, in a small town, are really going to pinpoint where their money goes because that's their hard-earned money. Versus, like you said, bigger cities, they're not going to notice it as much because everybody's moving. Everything is fast-paced. In a smaller place, they need to know.
Hey, what up, babe?
What's up?
I think that's the reason why I kept saying it the way I was saying it. Just looking at Avery, you just caught up. We were talking about this Tiffany Henyard girl out there in Illinois that's stealing all this money. She's a mayor of the city, and she is just doing way too much. Anyway,
she won't be the first. It won't be the last.
Yeah, no, it won't be.
That's what we were talking about before.
Yeah, it's like but again, if I can reiterate that, it's like you have the shoe and you are a black woman in what looks to me like there's some black people there, but white people are there and you taking their money, their hard-earned money. Town money is different from city money.
That's very true.
Town money is every number, every coin, every dollar, every sheet of paper that's green got to be accounted for because I was in I want to say, I don't know if it was Green or Louisville, Georgia is where I was. And they had a county high school. County high school. So that means that everybody in that county went to that high school.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing but trees, dirt, and fear out there because at night there were no lights.
That's where everybody knows everybody.
That's like I said.
Sometimes you don't want to go where everybody knows your name.
Not over there. Not over there. Not over there. And I think that was one of the biggest things. It was like being in that. That was my first time ever experiencing that. When I went to this Louisville, Georgia, and I went over there, and they have county high school, which lets you know every teacher, every student, every parent, every janitor.
They know everything about you.
They know everything about you. Now, the city where I came from,
the cops know everybody.
Well, the cops are probably all related to each other.
Yes.
They probably all got,
no, in towns like that, the cop is the judge, the school principal, and the pastor on Sunday morning.
Right.
That's true.
and the valet, if you really play with it,
right?
And
if you need a plumber, call him too.
Yeah, he got a belt on. He got a belt.
Got more jobs than
a lot of people's daddy, and they just don't know it.
That part,
Tracy.
That part is very true. Very true.
Tracy.
She ain't wrong though, Kevin.
No, that's why I'm kind of like I'm trying to find something to say, but it's not working. You're right. The is a janitor, he's a judge, he's a valet, and then about maybe 80% of the population, he their daddy. But anyway,
yep.
I think where we often have to get to a place where we understand that when you have power, you have to be careful how you use it. And you're under scrutiny. Listen, when you got a political or government job or political position like that, you got to live in a glass house. You can't be doing nothing stupid.
That's right.
Because anytime they see you moving to the left an inch when you're supposed to go right, they on your head.
Especially when you're of a certain color.
That's right.
that don't do nothing but put a target on your back.
Yeah.
At that point, now you got this big red dot that's like fluorescent. Like when your lights go out, you can still see that joint. You know what I'm saying? Because we often get to a place where we get beside ourselves trying to prove a point that we can do. Again, I understand women in power. I get that. Listen, sometimes the women got to do it because the men screw it up. I get it. We sometimes we got to do it. But the reality of it is that you don't screw it up by going around here trying to prove you ain't never gonna get caught.
Right.
You know, because
that's when the problem comes.
Yeah, so far so good. Donald Trump, I don't see how he did it. He turned around, got convicted of all 34 counts of treason, and never saw a jail cell.
And still running for president.
That's
still on the ballot.
That's because of the people that support him, which are never mind. I ain't gonna answer
the whole Supreme Court.
The whole Supreme Court. We get that.
Okay, Avery.
I'm just saying it is what it is. It's the people that support him.
Now here's the reality.
A bunch of idiots.
If you really think about it, he's sitting up there, got the Supreme Court behind him. Well, sweetheart, you don't have the Supreme Court behind you.
That's right.
Not one.
They've been waiting for her to mess up.
And ain't no other way to put it. They've literally been like, oh, if this black girl even so much as flick a booger in the street, we get ready to get it. You know what I'm saying? But
dangle some money in front of her. She'll mess up.
Right.
Well, and that's all she did. You know what? They opened the suitcase and they had all hundreds, and then they was like, "Oh, let me see if she's gonna put her hand."
Right.
And
Sure enough, she took that joint.
I mean, and went to listen. They have it on record. You went to Amazon. I keep talking about Amazon because Amazon keeps record of that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no way you can get rid of those records. They gonna know. And you sat up there and went to Amazon.
First of all, Amazon, don't get me wrong, I love Amazon, but Amazon, the owner is one of them. So you don't think
right. Right.
Hey man. That dude turned around and said, "Hey, by the way, real quick before we start anything else, that black girl over there in Dalton." Yeah, because every time I know his phone, his notification be going off like a bug all day long. And he was probably sitting there like, yo, real talk. Yeah, she just spent like 40 grand. Y'all need to go check her out. But I'll see y'all in a minute.
Y'all want to know where your money went? There it go.
But trip it out. She was making $244,000 a year, bro.
Well,
$244 grand a year.
We get greedy, brother. You know how folk, if you never had nothing, you're going to always want more.
But she must not have had nothing.
You should hear how she talk. You could tell she ain't never had nothing. You could tell she ain't never had nothing. You could tell that ain't on her. She don't know how to deal.
Yeah, her beginnings wasn't humble.
No. And it's sad to say, but I just know this to be true that when you are a person who does not have good people in your corner to tell you, listen, don't touch that. You know what? Come here for a minute. They setting you up. Hey, listen. There was probably some black people that was like, we know how good she is. She don't need to be in there anyway. So we're going to set it up. They probably sent them. I say it all the time. When Michael Jackson died, they had a black doctor killed him. And you know what Michael Jackson was doing? He trusted that black doctor because he wasn't white. And he said, this is my doctor. I'm going to go. They paid it. And you ain't seen that doctor nowhere since that man died. He died back in 2009.
Nope.
Well, you know what they always say? Behind a kunta is a fiddler.
Listen, it's only funny because it's true.
Brother.
It's only funny because it's true. That's when it's real funny. So I just I think that a lot of what's going on right now stems from us really paying attention to the fact that you got to be careful how you handle yourself, especially being a woman, being a female in this capacity. It's not always, it's sneeze at. Kamala Harris is going through that daily. You know what I'm saying? And she's constantly dealing with that back and forth. But for you to be in a position like that, and look what's going on. You getting found out, and this black lady is being considered for presidency.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how selfish could you be? Like, can you at least just wait till the election is over?
Yeah, that makes us look bad.
I think they probably said, "Here's so and so. Take this card. Don't even worry about it. Just take the card." They kept giving her the card. Take the card. Take the card.
But it makes us
happy
look
with it.
bad. It looks, and it's like, well, if this girl over here done took all this money and all this, what you think Kamala gonna do when she become president? Like, you
That's
can't.
right.
It makes it look bad as a people.
It does.
It makes
Well,
it terrible.
Kamala gonna be smart. What she's not gonna do is what this idiot did. What she's not gonna do
We
is
know.
deal with the government. Yeah, what she's not gonna do. And see, I say it again. This chick, the way that I see her, and the way that she responded and acted, the way that she was approaching the whole thing, I see her as somebody that was probably thinking she would never get caught. Because if you look at how she's talking, next time y'all go on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you can see it. When she's talking, she is talking at such like a nasty kind of
A level of I don't care.
pompous. Yeah, it's like
Oh, she
I'm a
arrogant with it.
dude, she's wearing that blonde wig,
Bruh.
and she about my shade, and she's just up there just wrong. She's like taking it. She's going too far, and it has just come to my attention that she was already under the fire anyway. I think what she did was she stopped caring. And she was like, no, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. She, I often say that, women who act like that never really had anybody in their life to teach them and show them, how to respond, how to react, or how to just shut up.
True.
You know what? Don't say nothing. And I
I
said
gotta
it
look
on.
more into that story though, because it's like, how did she get elected?
Everybody's saying it. We all said this is the 5th time we've heard it.
So did she not? I mean, did she not have anybody to go against, and she just said, "Oh, I'm gonna go and be this"?
She told this particular area of politics that when she is removed if she gets removed from the chair as the mayor of Dalton, that she is going to see to it that whoever comes behind her the pay is cut in half.
First,
What?
If she gets out of that seat, they're gonna lynch her, bro.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
Listen, let me tell you, them
Life
trees
is
over
over.
there look real ready.
Because one thing you don't want to do, they already don't want you in that seat, but you stealing from them?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
You stealing from our people, yeah, but them?
I'm not even in this to even try to go back and forth about what I think she is. I'm just going by what the paper is saying. I'm going by what she's under investigation for. I'm going by the fact that you're sitting up here having a whole county of people in a room, and a lot of them are black. And they sitting up here looking at you like, dude.
So you don't lost your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stealing from us.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That our Caucasian brothers and sisters going, well, the monkey strikes again, But the black folk is like,
just give me my money.
I think one of the biggest things about this is that we just need to really pay attention to the fact that some people just don't deserve power.
Right.
They don't.
Some people don't deserve the authority. Some people just don't deserve the mantle. They don't deserve, because it's not because they won't do it. They can't do it. She's showing us that, yeah, I'll fill a seat, but I can't run it. I'm not properly,
Yeah, she don't have the education to do it. And I mean, that's not calling her an idiot or dumb, but normally when you're in the
you don't
politics,
have the wisdom.
you got right.
You don't have to.
You gotta have it.
Listen, we can call Donald Trump dumb all day long, but he was smart enough not to get caught.
And even when he got caught, he still
got away with it.
He still got away with it. I mean, what kind of brains and expertise do you have to be convicted and never see a jail cell?
Sometimes money is the answer to all things. That ain't that what the Bible say?
This whole
Bible
thing
says
is about money.
The love of money is the root of all evil, but every now and again,
it also says money is the answer
to all things.
Yeah, so just don't love it, but go get it.
Go get it.
Don't you fall in love with it, but you need plenty of it.
You gonna need
it. And that's really what the makeup of it is. It's like we have to really be careful and understand that one of the biggest things about this is that, you know, we're spending more time trying to convince people that we know what to do when in reality, you have, I mean, if you're making $240 something thousand dollars a year, you know, you got to think about all the people that you know in the community and in the Black community who can't make that kind of money, who don't have, you know, I'm talking about even after they got out of college. You know what I'm saying? They can't make that kind of money. Jobs are hard to find, you know, and you know, I got a cousin who went to school for chemistry. She's a chemist. She's a biochemist, as a matter of fact, and she can't find no job. You know, because there's no jobs. It's all they're trying to take chemicals out and use all electronics now. Like she really has no. You still have science. You still
And
have,
even
you know,
beyond, but beyond that, unfortunately, there are jobs. But even like I said, at my current school, today, I was talking to a couple of the other administrators that look like me.
right.
And let me take that back. The one other administrator that looks like me, and the head of security that looks like me. And we looked around the room, and the head of security said, "I got a question for y'all." So we were like, "What happened?" He said, "Were there no other Black candidates out there? This is a mighty white class." And I said the same thing on Tuesday when they all came in, that there was no color in there. There was only one other gentleman that was brown skinned. He turns out to be Hispanic. So technically he's a person of color. But I'm like, when you look at the grand scheme of things and you look around this room and then you look at our board minutes and you look at the last names and they all end in vowels, I'm like, the jobs are here and we have people of color that are applying for these jobs. They don't care enough about us to offer us even an interview. So when we get the position, and we do, there's some of us that will forever do the right thing. But then when you got other jerks like this that screw it up, it makes it look bad for us. And then they turn around and say, see, that's why we don't want to hire the niggas anyway.
In the first place. Right. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, but at least give them a chance. But then when you give folks a chance, it's like a catch-22. You give them a chance, and then they still act stupid. It's like, what are we doing? Are we putting ourselves back behind the 8 ball? Are we going back to 1856? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Absolutely.
And
I think.
Scared? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Tracy. Go ahead.
Are we so scared of power that we sabotage ourselves? Is that it?
Yes, we've had self-sabotage in quite a few things. We've self-sabotaged, and you know, there's sometimes when people really didn't even have to do nothing. They just sat back and said, "Okay, watch what happened."
Yeah.
You know,
and then they bet that we're gonna mess up from the beginning.
Yeah.
Listen, how many people even now, years after he's out of office, how many people are still trying to find something to blame Barack Obama for?
Everything.
Yes.
I'm like, and they're like, oh, well, thanks to President Trump, we got the money. No, thanks to a Democratic House, you got money as a stimulus. It had nothing to do with that, man. But let's go back to before he got in the office. But let's go back to before he was in office, when we were out of debt because of a black man. That black man fought for 8 years to get us out of debt. We had a surplus. And all within one fell swoop, that money was gone. So for all y'all that are watching this that really think that 45 is going to help y'all get more money, that stimmy was not because of him. That was because you had a Democratic House that said, we need to help these people that are suffering.
School and Scott.
Good lesson, bro. That was good to know.
Well, this is the reason why I said what I said. Let's be clear. The bottom line is, first of all, this country was not made for black people.
Right.
We were brought over here on boats. And
against our will.
We didn't want to come here. We did not want to. And I know a lot of people hear this and go, oh, God, a black speech. You know what? Here's the reality. The reality is we made American history. Whether people want to believe it or not, we made American history. You know, music would not be what it is if it wasn't for black folks.
It would not.
You know, the economy would not be what it is if it wasn't for black folks. We spend more money than anybody.
That's right.
We spend, and it comes in small doses like sneakers and, you know, fake jewelry and, all that other stuff. But we consume. If we stop buying,
Oh,
somebody
speaking of
gonna
fake
be in
jewelry,
trouble.
hold that thought. Did y'all see that video with Tyrese?
Yeah, I
Yes,
did.
yes.
Please understand. I really wish that more people would watch these videos and
Right.
understand even how the industry works. When the layperson sees people in the industry with all this bling and the cars and all that stuff, number one, understand that a lot of that jewelry is rented for the
It
video.
ain't theirs.
That's
It
And
ain't
true.
theirs.
majority of it is
That is
also
so true.
fake.
Yes, that was number two. Because he showed you. He's like, y'all looking at this, y'all think I'm blinged out all this stuff. $29.99 on Amazon. And threw it on the table. He was like, so if I lose it, I'm okay. But again, everybody runs after. So kind of, Tracy, this is kind of going to what you were saying. Like, what is it that we're doing? People are running for the wrong thing.
Yes.
For the wrong thing. It's not about the status. It's not about the image. It's about what you do with the position. And everybody's running for titles and not doing anything with it. What are we doing? And this is white, black, and everybody else in between.
That's
What are we doing?
Economically and
That's what I
spiritually
was
too.
thinking.
Right. Oh, let's not talk about spiritually. You got,
Let's talk
I
about
don't,
it.
I don't want,
listen,
I don't want to make Kevin mad, bro.
bruh, the
No,
titles that I
I'm
heard
fine. Good.
over the last few days. Now, God rest his soul. I know y'all heard about Quincy Fielding, who
Yes.
I was just with at the beginning of August, and to know that he's gone. There were folks that were with him Sunday night at a concert in
At
LA.
a concert in LA. That's right.
And by 5:30 a.m. Pacific time, he was gone. But for all the people that I've been looking at posts and I've been hearing, and I'm like, where all these titles come from? And what did y'all do to earn them? Some of y'all ain't old as a tissue, and you up here talking about I'm Archbishop of the First. I'm like, what is happening?
Well,
Everybody's running after titles.
the first way that they get these titles, I think there's a website that you can go on and
I just said
I was about to say the same thing.
$50 and you become a
That
bishop overnight.
website
Just get ready to say
became
that.
a billionaire business.
Because listen, to be honest, my stepdad is a pastor, so he was like, he was saying something about I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna be a bishop. I was like, hey, you wanna do this today? You got $50? You got $75? We can do this today. I can make it happen today. And they were like,
Today.
oh, stop it. And I pulled it up. I was like, there you go. There's a license right there. You can get it today. By this evening, we'll be
And
calling
then they go and get $1,000 worth of robes. And
Right.
with all the bars.
Right.
And here's what's jacked up about that. And I remember somebody else came on there and they were like, yo, this is a situation, blah, 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 yada, yada. Here's the reality of all of it. The bottom line is that we have all seen fake people.
Yep.
We've seen fake titles. We've seen fake, declarations. We've seen all of that. And the reality of it is that now that we've seen that, now that we've gotten to that point, and now that we've played that role, here's the reality of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
What you do in the dark is going to come to the light.
That's right.
Every day.
And then the other thing is, what you have to understand is that once you've gotten to a place where you have grown to let somebody coerce you into doing something that is totally asinine when it comes to politics or anything else, let's just be clear about it. Only a few people are going to get away with it because they're smart enough to not put their hands in certain jars and put their hands in certain things.
Yeah.
The reality of it is that this woman, along with these other people, have gotten on here and literally tried to make you believe that they have a right to be in these positions. I should be here. I am there. I should be the one to do this and do that. And what I know about it is this. No, you don't. I've said it a million times. It's to me, it's like you have to give people a reality check. And most times, the reality check comes when they don't get their way. This woman didn't get her way no more. You know what I'm saying?
The ugly came out.
It came out. And you can tell she's an entitled, spoiled little brat
Yep.
who, when she don't
Entitled.
get her way, the
Mhm.
first thing she's going to do is turn around and literally make people think that she is deserving of what she has, and then she should be able to do it without him. They called her on her stuff, and literally, instead of her just going, you know what? All right, listen, I made a mistake. I did take the money. I did do it. You turned around, and then you're gonna go up there and talk about what Rihanna say. Pay me what you owe me. Pay me what you. Oh,
She
okay.
said that.
I can show you the video, bro. She didn't just say it, but when she said it, she came to work one day. Everybody, all these dignified people, all these diplomatic people are all sitting there in suits and ties, vests, dresses, all this stuff. This chick had on like army fatigue shirt, pants, a
Oh, she was
t-shirt.
like Destiny Child Beyonce
Yeah,
in Throw
she
Your
was
Hands
she
Up.
was she was like the dirty version, but she literally sat up there and she had on a t-shirt with a hat. Her hair wasn't done. The vest was looking like it was kind of ripped, and she was just like, y'all was supposed to pay these people this money. And where's that? I'm looking at just real arrogant. And I'm sitting up there and I'm like, yo, but the reality of it is you got caught.
Just admit it. Yeah.
You got caught. So to turn around and act like don't nothing bother you is a byproduct of really what you're saying on the inside is, oh, here we go. They don't call me. And like I said, this small town, when you're dealing with small town money, I guarantee you, they look at every copper penny, they look at every silver dime. They ain't playing, they look at the envelope that the money came in. They not playing with you.
They not.
They're not playing with you. And when you get to a place where you can sit up here and say, okay, you know what? I'm guilty of it, then maybe they'll take the time off. Maybe they'll, but I just don't appreciate the fact that she messed it up for other black people to go in the office and be respected. Like I said, the
Right.
same lady that's out there in Oakland, she sat up there, and not only did you lose all these prominent teams, you lost the A's. A's is coming to Vegas, but you turned around and literally you were taking money. They fired so many police officers
Wow.
that were under your watch. So anybody that was hired by you through the system of becoming a police officer or going to the academy and all this other stuff, they literally, they don't want to be bothered with y'all.
Whoa.
And she's going to jail now. I was just informed of that by one of my friends that used to live up there. He keeps tabs on her. He said, yeah, she's going to jail. She literally is getting ready to go to jail. So at this point, I just think what we all need to pay attention to is the fact that, you do the crime, you will do the time.
You will.
And I mean to a point where they are going to basically have it to where they're not about to play with you. You know what I'm saying? And so because of that, I'm not going to spend any more time trying to convince people, of what they should do or how they should do it. You're doing wrong. You're stealing money. You're out here, taking funds from a whole town. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as a result of that, I'm not even able to even be in that situation where I can say, okay, this is what the situation is. This is what the trouble is, and as a result of that, I wish her the best. I know one thing, she ain't never sitting in that seat again.
And see, I can't wish nobody the best that sit here and take money from other people, bro.
Right.
That's just me.
I'm just saying, I hope that
I
they
pray
have
her
mercy
strength in
on
the
your
Lord.
soul. You can say that too. I hope they literally have mercy on you, because from what I know, when a black person steals from white people,
I'm trying to tell you, in a place called Dalton, there's a
Dalton,
tree
Illinois.
somewhere. I'm telling you,
It's Dalton, Illinois, and that ain't Chicago.
that
So
ain't
you can't.
Chicago.
Yeah,
The Black
you're
Panthers and all that, they're not coming over there. They're not
right.
dealing with that because you're not gonna be interested in.
I
They're
hope
not
she
interested.
points to the Amazon.
I really don't know.
Just
I really don't know. I don't really know anything else to say to that, but you're right. Because at this point, it is what it is. So, all right. Well, I hope she makes it. That's really all I can say. TikTok again. There was a concert that was going on. Jennifer Lopez is having a very hard time.
oh.
She did a concert, and the ticket sales had dropped so much so to where they were at a stadium. Stadium has about maybe 3 to 4 tiers in it, and then there's the floor. I don't think, and I saw the number earlier. I need to go back to it, but I really don't even think 10,000 people showed up. I think there was only about maybe 4 or 5,000 people, and they lowered her tickets down to $8 a ticket, and people still
How much?
$8.
But can you
Oh,
blame
she
her?
had quartet price tickets.
They
She
hate
had
you.
Even quartet tickets is more than that.
That
They
because
low,
quartet
they
tickets will
lowered,
run 25.
Sure would.
yeah. With them 12 to 15 groups on there, but you still gonna pay $25.
But no, really, can you blame her? Like, if you really think about it, she's better as an actress than she is a singer
I agree.
Always had, and a dancer.
and a
She's a
dancer.
good dancer.
Yes.
And you think about it.
But first of all, hold on. I remember a couple of singles that she had that was cool. She did one with that Jenny.
Well, Jenny from the block.
Okay, and then I think she did "Let's Get Loud" or something like that. Was that her? Did
But
she do
that's
that?
still, you got to think
I
in
think
that
so.
era. In that era when she came in, you had all boy bands. You got B2K. You had NSYNC. You had what's the other one?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boy. All of them. That was the line. She was good for them. However, they were a whole lot more effective with our generation of young people versus just her by herself.
Right.
So
Well,
she's
now
trying to
what
come
happened?
back, and she's
Right.
garbage, bro.
But now what happened? See, where she messed up and where she basically lost her way was when she came out and tried to inadvertently compete with Shakira.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
one
know
thing
that
you
won't
gotta
happen.
understand, you can't compete with Shakira. That's literally, honestly, that's like Janet Jackson trying to compete with Beyonce. It's not,
Facts.
Right.
so let's just leave it alone. Now, at one point, Janet was Beyonce.
That's true.
At one point, she was, but you gotta say again, she made her own way. But you had to write a song called I'm in control," because you had to kind of come under the shadow of your brother.
Right.
So Beyonce didn't come from her brothers or her sisters being in the limelight over there. But she came with the group, and then she sought after that. But Jennifer Lopez, honestly, even as an actress, I gotta commend her though, because she came from a point where we never would have thought to pay attention. She was a fly girl in Living Color, and
She was.
the fly girls were made to gain our attention till they changed the set.
Yep.
And so that's what that was. But in reality, when it comes to actually singing, she's not a phenomenal singer. Never
At
has.
all.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say that she's a bad singer, because like if you look
She's
at what
not
she did
bad.
with Selena,
Compared to everybody else, bro.
Well, Selena made her look
She's
good
not-
though.
she's not
she was
getting-
good at Selena's. She was good as that.
She was good. Listen, Celine Dion, and I'm so thankful now that they're coming back.
No, not Celine Dion. I said Selena.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, first, let's be clear about Selena. Let's be clear
They
about
loved her
Selena.
because she played Selena, not because it was Jennifer Lopez.
Listen.
Right.
If Selena didn't get shot, J Lo wouldn't have had a chance.
That's
At
true.
all.
Very true.
She would have had a fat baby's chance in hell.
Right.
Shakira wouldn't have had a chance.
Nope.
Nope.
None of them would have had a chance because I'm telling
Because Selena
you,
was the total package.
Yes.
Right.
Bro. I saw what's that boy's name on Instagram? I can't remember his name, but he did this video where Selena it was in time, but he was doing that Love Come Down thing by Evelyn Champagne King, and they show Selena doing this one dance, right? And I said, I know that that's not the same rhythm that they're playing, but Selena loved R&B music. She wasn't
did.
just about Mexican music, but she loved R&B music.
Yep.
And so she was well-rounded in that area. I got to say this, and I hope, if people get upset, I don't care. But this is the reality. There's some people who wanted somebody to die because somebody was in the way.
Yep.
That's true.
They wanted them to die. They wanted something to happen. They wanted them to be put in a situation where, I got to say this again, and she was way before her time, but when Aaliyah died, it's like all these other people started breaking out. But
Yeah.
before Leah died,
Because they had
you didn't hear
room,
about none of them. You
right?
didn't hear about none of them. Now, as far as singing goes, Aaliyah wasn't touching a lot of people. But when it came to performance, and really she just struck when the iron was hot. Nobody was coming behind her. Mary J. Blige is another one. She never had a phenomenal voice, but she just struck at the right time.
Jesus.
And now this woman, you can't touch her. Her everything that's happened with Mary J. Blige, she has personified such, but you can't replace her.
At all.
You can't replace her. I don't care who comes up. Now, when it comes to singing, when it
And
comes
even
to
that
singing,
bad dancing, it became notable.
it became right. And she couldn't dance either.
Mm-mm.
But you know, when you on stage and you making 425 grand a show, who cares how
You do whatever you
move, you know
want.
what I'm saying? So when it came to, you know, singing, when it comes to actually singing, ain't nobody touching Brandy at all.
Not even a little. And well,
The closest, the only one that was superseded her
yes.
in terms of that age range, Whitney.
But I mean, and that was that point, right? Okay,
Yep.
so here's my point, just to justify it, or put it in context. The bottom line is that Jennifer Lopez had a whole stadium full of nobody because Method Man and Redman went through the same exact thing. I was at the Essence Festival back in July, and somebody just showed me, not me, but they just showed on Instagram that Busta Rhymes was talking.
He told them off. Yep.
Well, yeah, he did this aerial view, right? And they were looking down, and the place wasn't even 10% full. And he's Busta Rhymes. Here's what I'm saying. The content that we had 30 years ago is not working now to fill stadiums anymore. Unless you are a Frankie Beverly.
70s group, because let me tell you something.
Right.
Or some of these young kids that don't nobody know about.
Right.
True.
But them 70s concerts, they
them 70s.
Can
I tell you one that will pack out every time?
Earth, Wind, and Fire too.
Gladys, no matter where she is, Earth, Wind, and Fire, no matter where they are. Even Diana Ross talking about going back on the road. Stevie Wonder packed out the Prudential Center at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
And perform for 4.5 hours.
Absolutely. But what you got to understand is now here we are. What they operate off of is a culture.
Right.
True.
They operate off of a culture. So if you're operating off of a culture, then what you have to understand is that operating off of a culture will always keep you working. You'll never have to worry about, you know, what that feels like. Dougie Fresh to this day can still go anywhere he wants to go because he's one of the greatest hype men that ever lived, you know, even though he's an artist. And when you really think about it, Jennifer Lopez never had that bite like that.
No.
She never had that bite. And then when they were showing these videos with her and Nicki Minaj kind of looking at her every which way, I'm like, let's be clear. I understand that, you know,
had it not been for her, Nicki, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, let's just be clear about it. You know, if we really want to get down to the brass tacks. And I was watching something that was happening with you know, Sexy Red is another one. They canceled all her shows, and I'm so glad they did. I would not have even wanted to even know I was in the same city with that chick because that's not talent. That's not gifts. So Jennifer Lopez, I was talking about Method Man and Redman, they were at a show, and they said the people weren't really getting with them. But the audience was a younger audience. Y'all in y'all 50s. They not going to dance with y'all off of, you know, microphone checker. They're not going to do it because when you did that, that was 30 years ago.
And let's be honest,
they weren't born.
The kids,
kids weren't there.
The people in our generation, although we love Method Man and Redman, if there is a whole bunch of newer generational talent on the program, and then they're just like one of the people that's on it, we're not gonna buy our tickets just to go see just them. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
No
way.
No.
No.
Not at all.
No way.
Not at all.
And then I think also the problem with J-Lo is everybody cannot.
Ooh, what's that?
There you go. Everybody is not that talented where they can take a break from music and make a comeback. You can't do that, bro.
Then
everybody You know what I'm saying? I mean, it might work for Michael Jackson or Aretha
Or
Franklin.
Prince.
So somebody like that.
And
Yeah,
that part, the 3 days that we just mentioned are all deceased.
it's all deceased.
Yeah,
But my
and
thing
if
is
they do
too,
come back,
how many hits does J Lo have? Let's
Honestly,
be real. Like I can't name one.
Maybe
it was
2.
it was 2, right?
Does she did love the cost of thing? Is that her song?
I
she
don't even
did. Yeah,
know.
that was her. Yeah, that's her
Yes,
song.
that is
That's the
that.
only one I know.
Okay.
Jenny from the Block.
I still don't know that song. I'm just
I don't know it. I just know I'm still Jenny from the Block. That's all I know.
I don't even know what the verse is like. I don't know nothing about
No,
the verse. I
I
don't know
don't know
nothing about
about
none
that
of
song.
that. I don't know anything. I just feel like, when you found out that your concert was being canceled and you were facing that particular area of understanding, that you have to look at where you are. First of all, J Lo is well over 50.
yep.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. She's way over 50 years old. And not only is she well over 50 years old, but you are riding off of now, you're riding off of not just what was, but you have to look at the audiences right now. And I'll be the first to say it, but the real pinnacle of all of this is that, this music now that they playing, some of the stuff that's going on, when I tell you, I mean, I told somebody, I told Mike, I said, hey man, I wish they would bring 90s gospel back, because anything after like the 90s, I can't deal with it.
I'm still stuck on 90s gospel too.
Yeah,
Can I say something? Can I
I
be honest
can't
with
deal
you?
with it.
I do. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. I do a lot of new stuff, a lot of stuff that's out there now. But even when you look at Vincent Bohannon, Vincent has created the formula of reaching back to Brooklyn, 170 Adelphi Street, and writing new music that's based on music that was written in the 70s and 80s. And it's working because it's helping to bring choir music back.
That's true.
But in terms of what my core stuff is, man, give me anything from 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I guarantee you right now, it's going to kill a church.
The crazy thing is, I had this conversation with my wife just 2 days ago, and we was talking about writing songs. And she was like, well, how do you write songs? I told her, I said, look, I said, the only way I know to write songs, I learned from a David Frazier, from a Jimmy Rawson, from Michael Rogers.
You talking right, Reverend.
You always got to incorporate or write Bible.
Yes, sir.
All of this gospel stuff that's out here now ain't scriptural. It's not biblical.
It's inspirational. It's not gospel. It's inspirational.
Right, and that's why it's not gonna last. I mean, I wish them success, but all of these songs sound the same. Everybody singing the same. No,
yep.
It's not gonna last, bro. It's not.
Here's the reality of it. And I heard y'all say this earlier, especially when it comes to songwriting. When you write from your heart and not from being popular, that's when you're always going. Because what I know about it, even back in the day, and I'm still on task with the OJ thing, but what I know about this now is that people are writing what they feel worked for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You're writing that, you're coming from a standpoint that says, I'm writing this because, hey, it worked for such and such, so and so. And we've always talked about having an identity.
Yep.
J-Lo has an identity. I think the problem with her is that she's not realizing, and let this be a lesson, that you had a whole stadium. There were people who had to be paid that the concert really, she still did the concert. Now I have to commend, she still went on with it, but the lights, camera, action was so unnecessary because they had the back of the stadium was dark, like there were people there. And when I tell you, it looked like a black hole back there because there was nobody back there.
Nobody back there.
The sound
it looked
check
like a whole black hole. It was a black
your
hole.
Sound check was your
sound check was a concert.
Right.
It was a black hole. And I think the sad part about it was that they tried to salvage every little bit of it, but then they did that aerial view. And bro, when I tell you, it's like throwing a penny in a baseball field. That's how it looked. You lit that. I mean, there's just that one penny. You look around, there's all this other room, and I just think what she needs to probably do now. They canceled all her concerts. I bet you did.
Yeah, but Avery said something before. He said everybody nowadays is trying to sound like everybody else, and everybody's starting to sound like everybody else. It's funny that you say that. I was on the phone with Jeffrey Richardson, who sang with the Quincy Field and Choral Ensemble. He also sang with the Gospel Messengers, and is a part of GMWA. Now, Jeff's range is unbelievable, and his voice is undeniable. He said when Quincy wrote "What Shall I Do," and of course, we always laugh about the arrangement that he did with LA Gospel Messengers and Reverend Cleveland. Chest pains all over my body.
Right.
But when he wrote it and he gave it to Tremaine said she wanted to go through and pick voices. Now, it was the Quincy Field and Choral Ensemble and the Messengers. And she said, I want to go through and I want to pick the voices. And he had me cracking up. He said, Reverend Cleveland said to her, I handpicked these voices for the LA Gospel Messengers because I wanted them to sound like a choir. And because of the uniqueness of their voices, they make a great sound. I'm not going to let you go through and listen to every one of them one by one and you handpick out of the choir that I've already handpicked. You could do that with Quincy's group. You ain't doing that with this group. And he would not let the Messengers participate. I said, yet the Messengers went on to have 5 Grammy nominated and 3 Grammy winning albums. But she was looking for a specific sound. And if you listen to What Shall I Do, her recording of it, you can hear that they are handpicked voices and they all have a similar sound. It seems like that has become the standard for what industry is producing now, where everybody's got to have that same sound. I love Kiki to death, but I don't need to hear everybody riffing and running. I don't need to hear everybody singing nasally. I need to hear depth of tone. We grew up with everybody having a different sound, and you look forward to certain people getting up and grabbing the mic for certain songs because they were either going to give you a nice clean sound or it was going to be real gritty and gospel. There were certain people when Institutional got up and sang, you look to see Dr. Joyce Taylor get up and grab a mic.
Same people.
The same soloist, but you look to hear Dr. Joyce Taylor sing because you knew she was going to have a song and she was going to run that song. You look to hear Gloria White sing because you knew when she got a song, she was going to run that song. You looked for certain things to happen. The same thing with the Tommies. You looked for Miss Ethel Holloway to get up and run a song. I mean, Jesus, you've been so good. Come on now.
Man, no, he'll make it all right is my joint, bro.
He'll make it all right is another one. And then when Darius got up and started singing, I am standing on the promises of Jesus. Like you listen for certain nuances because certain voices gave you certain nuances. Now everybody's trying to sound the same. And that's kind of like why music is not going anywhere.
It's not.
Because you're getting the same sound for 19 different artists.
One of my favorite singers, and I'm just gonna be real, man. One of my favorite singers that had that voice that was so unique, underrated, Edwin Hawkins, bro.
Oh God. Oh
my God, today, Edwin, and I love Walter. Don't get me wrong,
but Edwin's voice,
Edwin Hawkins, bro. Woo!
God has signed my name on heaven's road.
Here's the reality.
His voice.
Those two. The difference between those two was Walter always had range. Now Edwin has it too. He just didn't use it all.
He didn't use it a lot, right?
Walter always had that kind of churchy type of, that kind of thing. Edwin was literally gospel's version of Nat King Cole.
Yes.
And this is the part. This is the part that a lot of people didn't know, that Edwin hung with that.
Wow, didn't know that.
And that's what a lot of people didn't know. When he first met him, he told me the whole thing. He said, because if you look at it, but think about it. Look at how Edwin carried himself.
Yeah.
Look at Edwin's hair. You see all of that? No, like,
hey.
I didn't think about it. You just said it, bro.
Look at the way his hair was waved. Look at how Edwin dressed. Pay attention to how Edwin talked.
Yep.
Yeah. You ever look at
Pay attention to how he played.
It was, and that, just not that, but when he played, like you said, he actually had a certain seat. If you look at Edwin and you look at Nat King Cole, go pay attention. Like there's a video of, this was a long time ago, I think the Delvin was like teens. But if you go over there and you look, the way Edwin is actually sitting at the piano and the way that
Yep.
he's looking out, he
Mhm.
looks
And the way
just like Nat King Cole. It
he
was
got
just
that
like,
bounce.
but bringing it back to what we're talking about, that's the identity. That's when you knew that you were getting ready to be in a position of something where you can understand, like you said, with gospel, with R&B. Let's be clear, we're back on the R&B thing, right? When you look at the OJs, you look at Earth, Wind and Fire, then you look at the Commodores, and you look at the Charlottes, then you look at the Whispers, and then you look at Confunction, and then you look at the SOS Band, and you look at all these people. Everybody was coming out at the same time, but there was never one song that reminded you of the other. Everybody had their own voice. They had their own, system. Tracy like bass players, right? I could tell when it's Marcus Miller. I could tell when it's Anthony Jackson. I could tell when it's Otis Burke. I could tell when it's Verdine White. I could tell when it's Nick. I could tell keyboard players. I could tell all that. So when it came to just the ambiance of it, Jennifer Lopez, if you really want to get to the brass tacks of it, there was nothing that she was bringing to the table.
That's true.
Other than the fact that she was an actress before, and you weren't even an actress before. You were a fly girl.
A fly girl, that was it.
And I'm grateful for the fact that even as being a fly girl, you were able to supersede that and still be seen, which was an inspiration to let us know that at this point, you being a fly girl and not being the focus, if you just do the work, you can still be recognized. You know what I'm saying? You can still be.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, my son was acting since he was 3 years old, and so he'd been doing that till he was 17. And he was always a singer, but very, very personable, never shy, just this whole thing. So we kind of cultivated this thing of his life, like, okay, he's not shy. He wanted to be on TV. Let's do this thing. But one thing, my son got signed to Rodney Jerkins, and then from there we got signed to RCA Sony. Or he got signed to RCA Sony, not we. But he was like, you can't be, in that time, in that era, you can't be one or another. He said at the time, Kiki was trying to be a singer and also an actress. He was like, it's not going to work. Not for us. Like, it's not going to work for us as Black people.
Mhm.
And so, it's great that J-Lo was able to do both, right? She was able to go from dancing to singing to acting, or maybe acting to singing. I don't know which one came first or at the same time, whatever. But that's her color, and Black people are stifled when it comes to that. But it was always a thing of, we can't do that. Now we see Kiki, who has surpassed acting. You see that, right? She's been doing her thing. And then now, well, I'm not sure she's now singing. I don't know, but she's done both. Let me say she's done both. I ain't gonna say she's been very successful. I would say she's more of a B-list actor and singer.
Who's a B-list?
Kiki Palmer.
Try C, because she's not that good.
Yeah, she's
okay. We'll go and see.
She's still a Disney actor.
That's why
we still give her a killer in the B.
Right, that's it.
That's why I asked, because I was like, no, she.
But I didn't quite understand. If you're a star, you're a star, right? I feel like you can do it all, right? If you can do it all, do it all. But I realized you gotta stick with one. It's not gonna do, especially as people.
But everybody can't do that, and like everybody can't be a Michael Jackson or.
Listen. I was just, if you could just allow me to say this. You listen. Back in the days, I gotta say this. Back in the day, when the Nicholson brothers, the two tap dance dudes,
yes, sir,
they were acting. I'm gonna say this to you. I don't agree with the fact that people saying it might not work, because Harry Belafonte was another one. When he sat up there and he wrote a song on the fly in that movie, and it became one of the greatest songs on in the history of music. When you have that kind of stuff, you have people that could. Sammy Davis Jr.
Yep.
You have people that could do it, but the reality of it was, this is why, and I understand what Tommy was saying, and I understand what Rodney was saying, but the truth and fact of the matter is, the reason why it didn't work was because they were not equally as passionate about the other one as they were about singing, as they were about acting. So as a result of that, what you ended up going through was that one lacked,
Mhm.
one lacked. But let me ask y'all a question. One lacked, right? But you had back in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, you had people that could really do it. Well, here was the distraction. Now we're so busy trying to become known on the screen and on the phones and on the iPads and on the laptops and all this other stuff that something's going to lack simply because of the fact that we're not honing in on every single thing that needs to be honed in on at that time. So when you had Nat King Cole and what's the other one? Dorothy Dandridge, and all them people. Diana Ross is another one. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that because she was another one.
I agree with you too. I was kind of like, huh? Like if you have a star, you have a star. If you can get 3 talents out of one person or 4 talents out of one person, then great. You're really doing something. But I believe I believe the wave of what was needed comes up and down. So back when Dorothy Dandridge and all these people can do the things, we had the space and the capacity mindset to be able to accept it all. By the time Dylan, my son, was doing it, he's born in '99. So just imagine 10 years after that, it's 2009. So so like we didn't have the capacity for that. You know what I mean? And so maybe we do now. I don't know, but I don't agree or disagree. But I also was like, okay, I kind of get what the wave of what's needed and accepted and gravitated to in the time being. You know what I mean? So
well, here's what I'll say to that, because again, I was one in the business as well. From my perspective, one can be all, and really where that shines is on Broadway. Everybody's trying to get on big screen, but really it's being on Broadway and being in the Metropolitan Opera that helps to bring all of that out. So you find out your dancing capabilities, you find out your singing capabilities, you find out your acting capabilities. And I know when he started because he happened to be in the show that I was in. Taye Diggs started as an extra in Carousel, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel at Lincoln Center. He was dancing in the company. He literally was one of the guys on the boat singing June is busting out all over. Like, he was not this big name star. He goes on the audition just on a whim for Stella, and his whole career blows up because at that point it's like, whoa, this boy really can't act. So when he did that stupid Nationwide is on your side video, and he's trying to get the notes out,
hilarious,
I'm like, but he can actually sing Nationwide. I'm like, but he can actually sing.
No, Scott. When he was like, Jesus saves, Jesus saves, in the middle of the prayer, Jesus saves.
But that was just him being dumb. But again, you got to see on Broadway Audra McDonald. Like, she was in that play. That was her first big one. But we got to work with Shirley Verrett, who was a Metropolitan Opera star. Everybody knew Shirley as this great vocalist. She was a great actress too. But you didn't get to see it until you saw it then.
Hey man, Stephanie Mills was another
Stephanie
one.
Mills, yeah.
But let me say this. I remember, and I don't know who thought of doing this. I have I just don't know who thought of it. Anyway, when Robert Townsend did that movie Medium,
The 5 Heartbeats.
Yo, that joke was he said Medium Man.
Medium Man, bro.
That's still one of my favorite movies.
When he did Medium Man, and we're talking about singers that act, right? When they turned around and literally had Luther Vandross, one of the guys carrying a gun.
Yep.
I could not take that man serious.
And he didn't have a speaking part.
He never did, which was dope though, because I was like, yo, like Luther ain't saying nothing. That means he'll be the first one to pop off. But I'm sitting here looking at him with this curl in his head, and I said, that fool singing "A House Is Not a Home." He's carrying a 30. There is no way in heaven.
There's no way.
I can't take this serious. I mean, I tried and I looked at it and I was like, yo, Luther looked like the pop off. I was trying to make it up. But
it's always been there, man. It's like, and I think they took the time to perfect the gift to be great at what they do, not necessarily to be famous.
That's very
right. I think that's what they were just good at dancing. They was good at singing. They just loved doing it. They didn't want to be on TV.
They loved what they did, and they their passion.
Because there was no social media before. There was no.
That's what
How many people are following you at
said.
this point?
That's
That
true.
was a big. That was a big thing. My son got signed to RCA Sony, but also was signed was Disney wanted him to play Lion King. He became one of the two that was going to be out here in Las Vegas, and
Because
then
he perfected his gift.
when he didn't get Vegas, they said we want him in New York, and the only reason why he didn't do New York and Broadway was because of his height, and they had a standard standard state or height for their costumes. They were like, we're not.
That's exactly why I didn't get it, because I was too short.
Exactly, when Dylan was too tall, they wanted. I'm making this up. 48 inches and low, and Dylan was like 49. I'm making.
That's why Jason got it. That's why the Jason kid got it too.
Right.
No, but that was Jason doing it on the
actual
movie.
album, right? Oh, the movie.
No, but we're talking about actually on Broadway. Like
Broadway,
there's a certain height
I get that.
because of the way the costumes were made.
Right.
Exactly. They're not going to adjust the costumes, not none. And they want you to fit it for a season, not just like, okay, you're going to be out of this in 2 months. And so you have to understand that people are basing every single genre of things that are entertaining based on what people want and are receiving.
Right.
If they're not going to accept it, if they feel like the audience is not going to accept it, they're not going to accept you. And so that's why I say things have changed because of the way of what people want and desire, and the audience wants and desires, because that's who's paying the ticket, that's who's watching it, that's who's gonna rewind it and play it again. You know what I mean? It ain't about the producer. Who cares about that? Yeah, who cares about that?
Say that again, Kevin. That's the problem. They don't know what they want.
We don't know what they
want. And at this point, they don't know what they want because it's all.
But here's the reality of it. Back in the day, when you had these labels and you had these different people, when there were real labels back in the day, and they went after people that could actually sing. They went after people that could actually dance. They went after people that actually had it. Listen, y'all know for a fact it was never about a look back in the day, because some of them afros was hard. Some of those dresses was tacky. Some of these dudes' teeth look like they've been biting nickels for years. Like it was never about a look. It was about what do you sound like. That group, the Dynamic Superiors, they're the ones that did that song, Shoe Shine, used to cost a dime, nickel will buy you plenty, whatever. I listen to that song every now and again. And every time I see it, I see that, hear that song. Back in 2008, I was in Los Angeles and I was getting ready to go to Jakarta, but I had to stay for like 2 days. So my friend took me to this breakfast spot. I forgot the name of it. And we were sitting in there and they were playing all these old Soul Train movies, like all these old Soul Train drums. And you saw Frankie Beverly and Mays. They was up there. All of them looked like they was 12. And you saw like the Silvers and all of them, right? So I saw the Dynamic Superiors. Didn't know that the man that was the lead singer, he's gone now. And I found out he passed away because of sickness. I don't want to just put that out there like that. I will just say when they showed the video, this nigga had more foundation on than anybody. He was walking around and he had on rouge. If I could show you a video, the way he was standing and kind of prancing around and stuff, I said, all of y'all, oh, okay. But at that time, it was okay to be like that because previously, before that,
Sylvester, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And when that big, tall, giant dude started wearing them curly wigs with the sequins, big dresses and stuff,
everybody was good.
And so, Tanya, what you're saying is that at certain times we had certain things. Music was different. Like in the 80s, it became computerized.
True.
Because in the 80s, that's when the SP12s came out. That's when the DA88 started coming out, and all this other stuff started happening. But it got to a point where, like, even the 2-inch situation, they was trying to get rid of it because everybody wanted to go digital. So the mindset of everything was different. All I'm saying now, and this brings me right back to my particular point I was making earlier. Jennifer Lopez needs to go ahead and stay on the silver screen.
Yeah.
And make those movies, do another Wedding Planner movie, do something, because
do Made in Manhattan Part 2 something.
What the public let you know was, we not coming to watch you.
We don't want to hear your music.
They basically just told you that. We don't want to hear you. She got a fast vibrato too.
Well, even
But
the thing is, I think
yes.
she never had an identity because if you think about it, when she first came out as an artist, she was with Diddy.
Exactly. And
Yep.
she depended on that to make her identity.
And he wasn't. And all he did was, yeah,
Bad
what,
boy, baby.
Right.
yeah, and then made billions off of that.
Right.
And
Now
how
you
many
got to go to jail,
times? How
right?
many times are you gonna have a wedding? You missed the wedding, didn't do the wedding type of movie. She got 3 or 4. I'm like,
But
how
see,
many?
even with
No.
that, it's still an identity issue because
No.
even on the silver screen, she's with Ben Affleck. So it's like she don't know who
No.
she is.
And let me tell you why she's so good at playing them in the wedding movies, because her and Ben Affleck are getting divorced again.
Again.
Yeah, that's right.
She don't know who she is.
So who
Life
better?
imitating art.
She Jenny from the block.
She's like life imitating art. And here's the thing. Even with I'm only bringing up because she was in the movie. It's a pretty good movie on Netflix. But Halle Berry was another one. Now, what I found out
is another one. Yeah. Okay.
Well, she is at the end of the day, she's that.
She's Holly.
But she was dating so many people. But they had her playing Dorothy Dandridge, right? But y'all do know that.
And that was one of the best movies she did.
Right. But Dorothy Dandridge was a handful from what I was told.
Oh, yes.
That too. Yeah.
It says she, but I guess it's just a matter of understanding people's attitudes, because Dorothy Dandridge had to be one of the prettiest black women on silver screen ever lived.
Yep.
Right?
You know who another one was, and she didn't get her due respect? Eartha Kitt.
Yeah.
She was another one.
Year.
But the deal is,
I played the drums for her one year.
She literally was considered to be somebody that everybody paid attention to. And what we all have to understand is that as black people, we can get beside ourselves sometimes, especially when we're talented people, and we're people who think we got a little bit of talent, or think we got a little bit of a look, or think we got something that we can offer that probably gain some attention or whatever. But what I know about her was that, or what I learned about her, was that she was just a person who was very passionate about being beautiful. She wasn't just passionate about acting, when Harry Belafonte and she did that movie, I forgot the name of the joint, but when they did that movie, they said there was a lot of times that Harry Belafonte had to put in place, like, yo, I'm the real star of this joint. I don't care what you say to me, and it was nothing to find a pretty lady, but she was Dorothy Dandridge. So it's like, let's give her a plus. But, back in those days, they wouldn't mind telling you that you're doing a little too much yourself. They didn't mind doing that. And especially, again, a woman being in such a male-dominated, situation. Back in those days, women were only, good for, slapping a guy, when he made her mad, but they still had that persona. So I think Jennifer Lopez needs to go ahead and really take it upon herself to understand that, I'm not one to judge nobody about divorce or nothing, but what I do know is to marry the same person twice and have the same result twice.
Right.
That's the trouble.
No, who's the real problem?
Both of y'all. Because number one, you crazy for marrying her when you know how she is, and you thinking that's the same chick you divorced a couple of years ago. And then she crazy because whatever it was about him that you didn't like, you said, I don't want to be here either. So at the end of the day, why did y'all even do it? And I know Mark Anthony's sitting over there going,
I tried to tell you.
I listen. Because you know what I hated? I hated, and I think, I don't know about Beyonce and Jay-Z. As a matter of fact, I'm certain that this would happen. But it seemed like once Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony separated, it seemed like his career went down.
It did. He didn't make no more albums.
He didn't make no more albums. But come to find out that the reason why he didn't was because he was so jacked up about what happened that he was like, yo, I'm really trying my hardest to snap back from whatever. But what we got a chance to see was, hey man, I know it might not have been all her, but trust me, she's showing us that she wasn't easy.
Bruh, and the
You
same
know,
thing happened to Eric Benet when he left his
yeah.
mama.
Well, Holly, he left Holly. David Justice left Holly. Wesley Snipes left Holly. It was a bunch of them that left. You know,
Yeah.
which let me know one thing: beauty's only skin deep. But what I do know about it,
Never trust a big butt and a smile.
you are not that
That
hot
girl
to
is
be
poison.
that cold. You are not that hot to be that cold. And a lot of people that really looked at it and they would all say, you know, yeah, that's Holly. Yeah, that's Holly. Just because she pretty don't mean she ain't crazy. And just cause, and Ben Affleck, even with Jennifer Lopez, with Ben Affleck, what the part that I didn't understand was that after all that was done and you came back, he didn't look happy when they got married.
He really didn't.
Because he knew
That's
who he was
crazy.
marrying. He knew who he was marrying. I know her. And listen, all the money in the world can't make you do nothing you don't want to do.
No.
You only give that money power when you decide that's something you want to do. But if it's just
them NDAs must be solid because ain't nobody saying a word of what's consistently letting everybody go. What is it that's letting everybody say, I gotta go? They're not saying it. Them NDAs,
What you mean?
solid.
What you mean?
He's saying nobody is saying why they're divorcing.
Yeah, everybody's leaving, but they're not saying why. Like, and here's the thing: we see the common denominator, and that's her. It's not them; it's her. And so they're not saying, "Well, we're leaving because she's cheating. We're leaving because she's nagging. We're leaving because X, Y, and Z." I
You know what though? I don't even know if it's an NDA. Can I just say I think it's a whole level of respect and keeping your private life private. It's bad enough that you gotta go through, but it's bad enough that you gotta go through a public divorce. You don't need to shame anybody because then once you start slandering them, they're gonna slander you, and it's just gonna turn into a windfall.
I agree with you, but when you have 4 and 5 people that have divorced you and it has not lasted more than 2 years, now one person
I got a better one for you. Do we know why Liz Taylor divorced all her husbands? And she was married 8 times. Do we know?
Let me ask.
J-Lo may go by the same rule. What's the NDA and what's the clause and what happened? You know what I mean? I don't know, but
it's none of their business.
even Janet Jackson had an NDA. She could not say anything, but now she's stating why she's like able to leave and what she can say about her child. But she wasn't able to say anything because she had a 5 or 6, I forgot how many years it was, but she had a clause that she couldn't say nothing. But now she's saying a little bit.
There are some men that literally probably didn't say anything about Hallie because they just didn't want to.
Well, I know 2 of them did. One of them said that he beat her. She said he
that was David Justice that said
David Justice, and then the other one was
the first guy.
He was gay.
Right.
Ooh.
One of them. It wasn't Eric Benet. It was another one.
But you would think it was Eric Benet. Let's be clear. You said Eric Benet.
No. We're not gonna do that. No. We're not gonna do that.
I'm not saying that.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
What it was.
No. Y'all not gonna do that.
I ain't saying nothing, bro.
Listen. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna get this show shut down because people being dangerous. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But I will say, when you're in the bathtub, hold on. When you're in the bathtub wearing pearls,
yes,
and you singing, that's all I'm gonna say. We're not saying no names. We're not saying no names. But when you're sitting in the bathtub with suds up to your neck and pearls,
talking about chewing to myself, y'all.
Talking about chewing to right? No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
With a filter on.
We're not gonna. I don't remember that.
But
I probably didn't pay attention to a filter.
But yeah, allegedly she was getting beat by one of the David Jones.
Well, we know who it was, but see the thing about it, and I said again that when he came out with it, see the other thing is you got to look at the timing of everybody's career.
Right.
At the time that was happening, Halle Berry was the only woman on earth for that 5 hours. Like nobody would ever do anything without her. So, signing an NDA and, not saying anything and, going back and forth. Listen, there's probably so much more to it. We really don't know. We don't really know what's going on in these people. We don't really know. Tanya and I went on a wine tasting one time, and we got up to this hill, and they showed this big giant house, and it was Jennifer Lopez's house. Huge. I mean, the house is big when you're looking over and it's big, so when you go on level ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, the guy said the house was worth almost like $23 million. I was like, okay, cool. I said, but Jennifer Lopez is worth almost $100 million, right? And I'm trying to figure out why, because I mean, at the end of the day, and let's be clear now, gotta say it this way. Some people are only where they are because they played the game.
That's true.
They played the game, and when they played the game well. Like y'all know, let's pay attention 1 second. We were looking at Jamie Foxx, and at one
I
time
was just about to say that name,
he
bro.
was a sitcom, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was a sitcom. His show was a sitcom. I love his show. It's one of my favorites. I watch it all the time.
Living Color.
But it wasn't until
You play right
with Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Yep.
This ain't even about Ray and none of that.
I was about to say it ain't about Ray because it was before that.
When he got with Tom Cruise in that movie, if you pay attention, Jamie Foxx skyrocketed. If you look at Halle Berry, right? If you look at all these people, think about all the people that Tom
And the movie you
Cruise
talking about
has
is
been
Collateral,
around.
by the way.
Collateral. Yeah. But think about all the movies that people have played in Tom Cruise, like Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames has been the only voice for Arby's for I don't know how freaking long. They won't get nobody else to do that joint.
It's Arby's?
But
Arby's,
it's
yeah.
Arby's. But
Are
what
you
I found
serious?
out, absolutely, he's been doing Arby's commercials for the last 15 years.
Bro, I thought that was James Earl Jones.
No.
Nigga, I thought that was Kevin J. Sampson.
No, that's not me. That's not me. Thank you.
I
I appreciate it. But no,
I was like, nigga, I'm on the same couch. Nigga, you ain't say something?
I really thought that was James Earl Jones, though.
No.
Ving
Rhames has done. Now pay attention to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ving Rhames played Holiday Heart. Did anybody see that movie?
Yeah.
Nope. So Ving Rhames played a whole drag queen.
Sure did.
Right? But his career was saved because for the last, I don't know how many from the start of Mission Impossible to the very last one, Ving Rhames ain't gonna work another day. He can do Arby's for the rest of his life. He don't.
KJ, who does the commercial? Whatever I've been saying about the person that does.
That's not Big Boy.
I know who does. What's it? Burger King.
Burger
King. I be like, is that Big Boy?
He sounds like Big Boy. He does sound like him, but I forgot the guy's name. We looked it up one day.
DK, have it your way.
Now you got me messed up, bro. We have the meat. That sounds just like
that's Ving Rhames all day long.
That's Ving Rhames, yeah.
That's Ving Rhames all day long. But the reality of it is that when you get to the brass tacks of it, whoever you're around, like I'm gonna tell you, when you really look at, like I said, Jamie Foxx has become such a prominent black. He's like almost considered to be like, in a lot of ways, a younger Morgan Freeman, because he done got with Tom Cruise and he can do anything he wanted to do. When Oprah Winfrey, she's another one. Oprah
but her start was
the game. Oprah played the game though. She played the game. Because I'm sorry.
Feel like it's about who you know, like you were saying. Like even
but who she know. Who does Oprah Winfrey know? Oprah Winfrey knows every
what happened with Oprah though?
Jewish person.
But I was about to say what happened with Oprah was Steven Spielberg.
Exactly.
Right.
And Quincy Jones.
And Quincy Jones.
Right.
It was really Quincy Jones because Quincy was the one that recognized Steven.
That recognized it.
Right. Let her go ahead and do it. And the truth was,
but Whoopi Goldberg, same thing. Because Whoopi, don't get me wrong, Whoopi was doing Jumpin' Jack Flash and all that stuff before that. But and Jumper Jack Flash is actually one of my favorite movies. I think
But
it's a
you know they
stupid movie,
tried
but
to
it's
make
funny.
her a female Eddie Murphy, right?
Of course. And it wasn't gonna work.
It wasn't gonna
And that was why the
There's no
stand-up
way.
didn't go.
There's no way. There's no way.
Bruh, if you
That was
look
why the
at
stand-up didn't go.
Jumper Jack
No,
It could
Flash
have worked.
Nobody will ever be.
ever.
No, but they tried to in
They
terms
tried
of
to.
impersonation. That's
A
why they gave her the
female.
denim jacket,
Mhm.
the leather jacket.
Yep.
Like they tried to, and it was like, why? Let her be her. But when she got in that color purple role,
Listen,
that was it.
The color purple skyrocketed and catapulted so many
Danny Glover.
careers that it put so many black people in the limelight. And guess what? They had to come and see us in our habitat to be
Right.
You know who
They
else
had to
was
look.
in that movie?
We wasn't playing none of that stuff. We was literally just sitting up there doing what we did and we know how to do. Down south,
Just
that's
being
where
us.
we at.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but let me tell you about that.
Bruh.
Do you know where his start came from?
What, Boys in the Hood?
Oh no, sir.
No,
Oh,
it was before
sir.
that.
Way before that, brother. That man was a cowboy in Pee Wee Herman.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cowboy Curtis. Yeah.
That's right. He was a whole black man with that long Jerry curl.
With the
and them
jerk.
dog-
So
I
you
was like-
Pee Wee?
I was like,
But even before that, he was in Apocalypse Now. But
he was.
his big hit though, his big break was playing Ike Turner.
Well, this is where it got kind of ugly. When he was playing Ike Turner, the only problem I had his mom
It was too real.
was his mom. Well, that too, but his mom homeless and he wouldn't help her.
Right.
And they kept saying, "What is going on?" And he was making that movie. He was killing that movie, but he wouldn't help his mom.
But I still say
happened.
there's definitely something more to that story.
I always think there's something more to it. I think the big deal about that is because now you know Lawrence Fishburne's daughter she's been a drug addict. Something has gone on with her. So, there's a lot of stuff that, we look at these particular areas of people and we think that everything is okay. But,
I think there was something
millionaires go through
synonymous
problems
with.
too.
Yeah, Matrix.
I
too.
think
He was
there-
in that.
Right, he was. But I think there was something synonymous with what James Brown went through with his mother, where it was kind of like just walk away.
Yeah.
And then
just walk,
Shaq went through with his
his
dad,
father.
and even Michael Jordan with his dad. I mean, they rekindled a relationship. But there's so many of us that have that story where our fathers, or in some cases even the mothers, it was like didn't want to have anything to be bothered. But then the moment that your name became something, it was like
Gary
I'm this one's
Coleman.
father, I'm this one's
Right.
mother, and it's like no, you're not gonna ride on my coattails now.
Yep.
Right.
Gary Coleman was the epitome of a parent, of physical and mental abuse by a parent.
Took his parents to
Wherein
court.
they spent everything, and then he turned around and sued them, and everybody got mad. But I was like, but he earned the money.
That's true.
Yeah, they weren't acting. He was.
Right.
They weren't, they weren't the ones that.
But they were acting. They were acting like parents.
They were acting like parents.
Right.
But they were really, their true calling was being thieves.
Thieves.
All day. Thieves in the temple.
They took his money. So, hey, let's talk about this real quick because Jennifer Lopez lived in my head for too long. Hey man, listen, like on a serious note, and I don't know who's gonna watch this now or later, but one of our colleagues, Terrence, had an episode. We won't disclose everything that happened, but we were a little concerned about his health. And I just want to talk quickly about this really quick because we've lost so many people and they didn't just pass away. They actually died from conditions. People were sick, people had heart disease, people had kidney failure. And I just found out one of my friends who's, I consider like to be a brother, he's on dialysis 3 times a week. He's waiting for a kidney in the gospel music industry. And, we're looking at all of this. And here's the reality of it. A lot of these people who have died, honestly, probably more than likely would probably still be here if they had gone to the doctor and they got themselves checked, if they had gone and sought out some help, if they had gotten to a place where they just did a simple, blood pressure test, just did a simple, just pricking your finger and just putting it in a little strip and seeing what your blood sugar is like, going over and taking it upon yourself to, finding out exactly what's going on with you, and, if you're telling me you're in pain, yes, God is a healer. We do understand that, but God also placed doctors and, physicians on this earth because, he's not always going to be the one to come down and touch you. He's made people to do that. He can do it, but a lot of us are not being, we're not being, so as Tanya has told me several times, Kevin, as a doctor, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to go more now because I'm watching people who have known that they've been sick and they haven't done anything about it. And this topic really is about medicine and being medical and understanding how serious it is. We as men, we're taught to fight lions and tigers and bears, do all that other stuff, but I don't like needles. I can't stand. I hate needles. But the reality is that you have to do that, and it kind of bothers me a little bit because when I know that people could have done a little bit more to take care of themselves, it would have ended probably differently. When it's your time to go, you got to go. I don't care how healthy you are. I know people who were healthy, healthy people, and they just walk outside and pass out, and they die. So it ain't even about that. But if you can actually do something to make yourself better, like if you're overweight and you still keep eating burgers at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you know that, you have a sugar problem, but you're drinking 2 and 3 liters. I don't even know if they make 3 liters no more, but you're drinking 2 and 3 bottles of soda, and all that other stuff. It's critical. And then when we don't think about
remember when they used to make 3-liter sodas?
Yo, I'm glad they stopped because I was tearing them
Yeah.
up. I'm glad they stopped. But y'all can speak on it, but I know just in these last 2 months, we have lost so many people to kidney failure, heart failure. What's the other thing? Oh God, pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
I was going to say a lot of different cancers.
Yeah, cancer has just run rapid these last 2 months. And people just die from themselves. I've said it before that times going to keep me goes, and I'm going with you, and don't tell them you all right because I'm gonna be there. And the whole thing is that I am going to tell them that I was okay, but if I feel like I need to tell them, listen, I'm having concerns here, or whatever, it's better for me to find out because what's even worse than living sick is not knowing that you're sick. You're just walking around and you ain't even paying attention to what's going on. And then you got to check the family history. What does your family have?
History
Situations.
of,
Like what exactly? My father's name. They were hypertension. That's high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? My mother's family, they just crazy as hell. But that's a whole other thing.
Well, then that's a whole other story.
But,
honestly, bro, I don't know. The way I look at it, I think everybody does definitely need to go get checked out. I am not an advocate for medicine. The walk that I'm on right now currently, I ain't the best health eater or whatever, but number one, I eat according to my blood type. That's one way of actually eating or being healthy. But I also do holistic. So I'll go to a holistic doctor before I'll go, because a lot of these medicines that they're giving you or whatever, they're killing people, right? And they're healing one part of your body but leaving you with another. You know what I'm saying? So is it important to get checked out? I'm definitely gonna get checked out, but I'm sticking more to the holistic side so that way I can eat or do what I have to do from the ground. so that way I don't have to worry about one part of me feeling good. More, I done healed my elbow and now my toe is hurting.
Right.
I'm not good with.
I agree with you, Avery. I've been having some problems with I've always had a problem with my hip flexor, which is where your leg, your thigh that bends.
Mhm.
But that's on my right. But on my left, I'm having problems with my knee. So in the middle of the night, I was having some trouble because I forgot to like take some trash out, so that was bothering me, and the smell was bothering me. I took the trash out, but it was still bothering me. But
Mhm.
then also my knee was bothering me, so I got up in the middle of the night. I took some Motrin. I took this Motrin, and my heart was like palpitating. I'm going.
Mm.
I'm asleep. I'm going. I was like, what?
Mhm.
Like it wasn't going like if it was a regular beat, I don't know it. But when it skips a beat or if it does something that does it flutters, I'm like, what the heck was that? You know what I mean? So
Right.
now I can't sleep, and I'm with you. I'm like, God, I don't want to be on medicine the rest of my life. I don't want to be on Aleve, Motrin. I don't care if it is over the counter. I don't want to be on it, even
Mhm.
though I ain't gonna say this is minor, but this is not a heart problem. But I don't want it to become a heart problem because now I'm taking.
Eventually.
I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. Like I need to.
Holistic doctors or be it like Dr. CB or whatever, like that type of stuff is very good for your health. And then again, like I said, eating according to your blood. There's a book called Eating According to Your Blood Type on Amazon where you're eating
I know the
only
name.
that. Yeah, that helps you. It gives you more energy, all of that. Plus I take like black seed oil too, like little stuff like that. But I still go get checked up though. I'm still an advocate for that though. But
Well,
still,
reality is that when you think about the medicines and everything, first of all, that soursop fruit, they don't even sell it out here because what they said was 2 scoops of that in hot water is actually stronger than chemo,
Mm.
Right.
and they won't sell it here because the pharmaceutical companies will literally go belly up if they bring that fruit here. Even with watermelon, watermelon actually helps.
seeded watermelon.
They tell
Seeded
you
watermelon, right?
to drink the water, drink water, drink water. Listen, I'm finding out that this water that we're drinking, everybody going to get the smart water, all this
Mm-mm.
other stuff. That ain't nothing but
That's
some toilet water.
Yeah.
yep. Yeah.
The
Yep.
best
That's
water
all
to
it
drink,
is.
the best water to drink if you're going to drink a bottle of water is Fiji, and that's because it comes from the aquifers, which are
Aqua.
Right.
beneath
Yep.
the ground, and it never touches sunlight.
But here's the other thing. What they don't tell you is that watermelon is 85 to 90% water.
Absolutely, it's a diuretic.
So if you literally are eating watermelon, you are actually drinking immaculate glasses of water because
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's a watermelon.
But
But
you also
again, it
have to be
has to
very
be
cognizant of that.
seeded.
It's got to be
It
seeded,
has
but
to
you
be
got to be also
seeded.
Right.
cognizant if you are pre-diabetic like I am, or if you are a diabetic, not to eat too much. And granted, it is natural sugar, so it will pass through your body differently.
Right.
But you got to
Right.
be very careful with the amount of fruit that you intake. I will also say something else that most people don't know is that the best thing to eat the first meal of the day, the best thing to do is to drink water first when you first wake up because it
Right.
helps to get your body activated. But the best thing to do, the first thing that should hit your stomach is fruit because it operates with the acids of your stomach much better than anything else. So
Right.
before you eat any of the breads or the meats and all of that stuff, if you eat fruit, it definitely will work better. But I will also say, Kevin, you said something before, and I think this is where a lot of people mess up. I feel good, so I'm not going to the doctor. The annual checkups, and this goes for not just your physicals, but also for your vision checkups,
Mhm.
for your dental checkups, because a lot of times, a
Right.
lot of things can be caught other than just going for your regular physical and them doing blood work. And we talked about Terrence before. I mean, and I'll share this much because I was a part of it. I noticed that something was wrong with him when we were in Philly at the Dorsey conference, and I kept saying to him, "You need to go get checked." And he was like, "No, no, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay." I'm like, "You need to get checked. You're sleeping a lot, and you're not yourself. You need to get checked." Music is blasting. We in rehearsal, and I mean, music is going, and he's knocked out sleep. And immediately, as a person who is a pre-diabetic, who was also the son of a diabetic and the grandson of a juvenile diabetic, I know that that is a telltale sign that somebody's glucose levels are off. when they begin to fall asleep like that and can't stay awake. Lethargy is one of the major things, and then also major urination periods, and you have to keep going to the bathroom. So I said to him, "You need to get checked." I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. So I went and I got the big dog. I didn't call Teresa. I texted Kima. I'm like, "You better get your father when he get back home." I said, because we went through this once before with him, and you get your father when he get back home. So she was like, "I'm on it." And he went, and I'm glad that he did because his numbers were off the charts by the time he got to the ER. And I'm just grateful that they were able to do what they needed to do. I mean, we're still praying for him and making sure that he maintains because they've got him on a crazy cocktail of medication right now to keep it low. But also, as Avery was talking about with eating for your blood type, there are a lot of things that are in our foods here in the US that are not allowed in other countries. So when you travel to other countries and you eat their food, your body reacts differently and you feel much better because they prohibit a lot of the crap that they allow here in the States, which is one reason why I like visiting Canada and I like going to the islands because those things are banned and the food tastes so much better.
Bruh, do you realize that Jamaica was one of those places where they did good as far as not COVID? Because
Right.
from what I was told by somebody that lived there, because I went there earlier this year, they told me that you can easily go to their tree and eat off the tree.
Yep.
Anything you want. Because
Any fruits.
any fruits.
Well, here's what I know
Good
about
night,
that.
Tracy.
Good night, Tracy. Here's what I know about that. You have to get to a place where even eating like some of the different areas. Like when I was in Canada, I went to McDonald's and I ate their burger. I just eat fast food, and it just tasted weird. And I kept saying, "This something ain't right about this.
It's
Something
probably
right about
healthier.
this. Something right."
Right.
That's exactly what it was. They cooked it. They didn't cook it in vegetable oil. They
They cook it in corn
fry it.
oil.
They cooked it in corn oil, and then what happened was, after they cooked it, they drained it, and when they drained it, it didn't have that real greasy, grimy.
Right.
You
You
was
got the meat.
basically it was the meat itself, and that's why my body was like, I don't taste no oil, I don't taste no dirt, I don't taste no. It's something that's going on, but it was because of the fact that it was so doggone. It tastes more natural.
For real.
And
Dude, when I went to
and they
Spain and
season
I
it.
ate
I'm sorry,
that
go
Burger
ahead.
King, I was eating Burger King and I was eating pasta and everything else. I came back, I had lost 15 pounds and I was eating just like I normally do.
Yeah.
Mm.
What you
And
saying,
they're
Tyler?
feeding their cattle. They're feeding the things that they do for
Uh-huh.
vegetation and all that is totally different.
They're
And
not
it's funny
injecting them.
because there's this new craze that I'm so like amazed about this new like cucumber salads. I'm like, I'm gonna do these cucumber salads. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's so dumb. I'm about to make you laugh. Like you already. And this guy's like, so he starts with like, I'm making this up. This is a cucumber. He goes, everybody needs a cucumber. Like that's
Is
the
this
first.
what you were talking about doing the other day?
Yeah, but it don't look good because it
try
don't
it.
look good because it's blurred out. But he has like a cucumber in his hand, right? He's like, everybody needs to eat a whole cucumber, right? And he talks about like slicing and all these things. He does all these things, and every single time that he makes a cucumber salad, he puts MSG in it. Do you know that I thought MSG was never a thing? I thought MSG was
It's a
like
thing.
It's a very
no. Let me explain my thing that I thought was not a thing. Is that I thought all these Asian things created MSG. Like I just thought like it wasn't a substance that you poured in. I didn't think it was a salt or a seasoning or I just thought once you put all these things together, MSG is created. And so I was going,
MSG is poison in a box.
Listen, the China. Listen.
So I ain't done, Kevin. Hold on, Kevin. So the other day before I came to your house, I said I need to go by the Asian store, right? You know this. And I was like, I need some chili flakes. I need this. I'm doing all that. Like, do you have MSG? She's like, yeah. And I'm like,
oh my God, you didn't ask for that.
I have
because
it.
that's why you go, like when you go to those stores,
Scott,
they do sell it. But thank God, at the Chinese restaurants, they say no MSG in most of them.
Scott, let's go back one second.
The fact that she asked them if they had MSG.
Somebody, you have
I
what?
have it.
You have what?
Give me a second.
She bought MSG.
MSG.
Give me a second.
And we not talking about Madison Square Garden either.
Right.
Not at all. Not
Or
at all.
mayonnaise,
Lord, I can't
salt,
wait for
and
break.
gravy.
I can't wait for Break to comment on this one.
Praise the Lord, Bishop.
It came in a bag.
Listen
I said,
to,
well,
hold on.
I don't need
Time
that
out,
much
time out,
MSG. Okay.
time out. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me I have never in my 51 years of living
And
on
my
this
47.
earth,
Bought any of it.
listen, I have never heard anybody ask
For it.
So wait a minute. Hold on. Stop.
Because you
Stop.
ate it. Because you
Hold
ate
on.
it. All the noodles.
Listen. No. Listen to me very carefully. I ate it all the time at Ming's Kitchen on Broadway in Paris.
Sure
Sure did.
I ate it all the time. So I know that I had it. What I'm saying to you is that they make it with it. We understand it's poison, but you went and asked
for it. It's all right. She didn't know. It's okay.
And
Does
she be
it
talking. I mean,
say
some
MSG?
food. Yes.
Tanya,
Monosodium glutamate.
Hold on,
Tanya.
wait. Let me fix this. I don't know why. It looks like,
No, don't.
You know
worry
what
about
though?
that.
It is.
Listen.
You do know that MSG is in some foods, right? Like it's
No,
in
we know
tomatoes
that.
and
We
cheese.
know
I
that.
thought but here's the thing. I thought it was created out of all the things that the Asian food. Like I
Oh
thought it was like
Jesus!
once you put a little salt, a little vinegar, MSG is created.
So
I
you
didn't know
thought
it was.
MSG was
I didn't know
created.
it was I
Tanya,
didn't know
take
it
It's
was
that.
salt.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out.
Manifest.
Hold on. How much did you pay for that? How much did you pay for that?
I mean,
Probably like
it was
$12.99.
$3. Like it wasn't
What?
expensive.
It was like what? It was like what?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe $3-4. I don't know. It wasn't.
Okay. Here's what I want you to.
wasn't
So it doesn't sound like it's expensive. So I want you to
But
take
they
that and I
said
want
it
you to
was
throw.
gonna be good in the cucumber salad.
I want you to throw that
Uh-uh.
away. You don't need that.
That's gonna.
And
Yeah,
here's the
that's,
crazy
that's
part.
when your blood
But
pressure gonna go
y'all,
up.
but wait, y'all, guess what? The US FDA has said that it is okay to use MSG.
See, but
So
they
they're
trying to
trying to
kill
kill
us.
us.
They're
They're
trying to
trying to
kill
kill
us,
us. And guess what? They know that black people gonna do it. Well, they know Tanya gonna get it.
That part.
She gonna buy all.
That's
the
why you
bottles.
also got to be very careful with like even the canned vegetables
Yeah.
because a lot of them have it in it. Like if you
That's why you
taste
get
the
glory
if you
foods. Get glory foods. Get
listen,
glory
even with
foods.
Glory though, Glory is very
What-
salty.
Sodium is high.
Clear.
Glory is very
some water.
salty.
I'll drink some water.
No, I drain them.
One thing is right.
Your phone is going.
Your phone's breaking up.
Your phone's going
Tiny.
out. It's breaking up. It's breaking up.
Yeah.
Man.
Nothing here.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
She's about to do a commercial.
Not with that. Not with that. Not with that. No.
Okay, Vanna Black.
No. Not with that bottle of MSG.
Coming out here looking like Kiki Shepard.
About that. Right. And you know she was. Yeah. So I just I really believe that we need to do better. And I wanted to do a seminar for these cats out here, but you know, I found something out, especially where I live, is that people are only gonna listen to what they want.
Yep.
And the one thing I will not do ever again is try to convince people of something that they just don't want to do. I heard a lady
They don't want to
say,
listen.
Kevin, if I don't want to do something that I should do, even if it's something I should do, I'm not going to do it. Because people have a will. And if they don't want to listen, if they just insist on doing things the way that they've been doing, then that's fine. I think where we are with medicine, I've been watching this herbalist. I don't know what happened to this man on Facebook. He had long dreadlocks, and he was telling women to eat turmeric and
Turmeric is good.
to eat basil, and he said it would help with your menstruation cycles.
Yep.
Some of y'all are taking Pamperin and Motrin and all that stuff. He said these the antibodies in the fruit and in the vegetables. He said they can. Dr. Sabi died because he told everybody that while y'all are sitting up here taking chemo and radiation and all, he said, do you not know that you can take a ghost chili He said, here's the after effect. Your throat might bleed a little bit.
Or I
But
might
would you
die.
no, you don't die. See, this is the thing. That's what he said. The Scovilles in the pepper literally go into your system and attach themselves to the cancer cells and burn them out.
My God.
So your side effect, maybe you got a raw throat, but I'll take that knowing that I ain't got to go sit in no radiation and go to no chemotherapy and be losing hair and going through it. If all I got to do, if the side effects is a bloody throat, okay, I'm eating 2 of them just to ensure freshness.
Not too stupid.
But I'm not. What I'm not gonna do
I take
is sit up there.
Can I say one stupid thing?
Well,
That nothing on. I was trying to say this earlier. Nothing on this bottle says anything in English. Nothing. The only thing I can understand.
They gave you a bottle of SARS.
They knew that
they gave us SARS.
The only thing I can understand is
He's smiling.
Look at that panda. That panda looking like, go ahead, pull
that
that
panda
bottle.
looking like,
right ahead.
That panda say, I got her money.
That's exactly what it said.
I'm over here like, oh my God, like I can't even translate it. But
I don't care. Not Tanya.
But you know, anytime you go into like an Asian place.
Hold on. Tanya, take that bottle. First of all, you're on a live on Facebook.
You want everybody to be real? I'm being real.
I understand. Well, let me be real with you. Really throw that bottle out.
I'm gonna taste it for one.
But you know how them Asians,
you're not gonna eat that. You can't.
Them Asians come and they'll laugh in your face, but they'll be talking about you in their language.
Yep.
That's what that panda's doing right now.
Yep. Here's the crazy part, though, Tanya. You know that when we go to the Chinese restaurants, these are American Chinese restaurants. This is not what they eat.
They don't eat that
stuff
over there.
Totally different. And even those that are, they're actually, when they go home, they make food differently. I have a number of, because we actually have Chinese as one of our languages that we offer. We've got a number of parents that are active in our PTSO, and one of them is one of our subs. She makes stuff all the time for me. Her wontons versus me going to the restaurant and get wontons are totally different.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a place that I go, and they have a whole lot of Asians. They actually own the place, and they'll feed people like Pizza Hut and all this other stuff, like all this bad Chinese food.
While they sit eating the regular.
Right, but then when you look where they work at, they eat all this healthy stuff. They got steamed pots and all
vegetables and everything. Yep.
Is a smiley face seasoning on it? Are you doing?
He's saying, "I got your money."
Oh Lord.
I took her money.
Hey Brent, you joined us.
Hold on, Tanya. So here's the thing. What did they say to you when you went in there and bought that? What did they say?
There was a pack. There was a pack. Like this is where you guys are. Where I'm sitting at right now is my makeup vanity. We'll show y'all, but y'all don't care, right? Y'all don't care. This whole thing is my makeup vanity. It's a whole thing. But they had a pack like bigger than this. This is a little pack of wipes, makeup wipes. This big of MSG. I said, "Oh, I don't need that much." And they had a bigger pack. I said, "Oh, I don't need that much." They had a smaller pack, and I got the smaller pack.
Well, here's what I'm glad about.
And it's supposed to go good with my cucumber salad.
I'm glad that you got on here. Now, here's what I do know.
I spent $40.
If you insist on using that, that is on you.
I'm put a little bit of something.
They said, "Hurry up and buy."
I was about to say that, Avery. Hurry up and buy.
She was like, "Whatever you want, that's up to you."
She made a sale.
That was her warning right there.
And guess what? She
gonna know
right. She gonna know you ate it when you don't come back. I guess a blacker lady bought a bit like a blacker man.
I said $40. I'm sorry, $40.
Yes, she went over with her blacker man.
$40?
I did. I
got for that. She got all the stuff.
I'm a cooker. I'm a cooker, cousin. I'm a cooker.
Brent, listen. You have heard a lot of stuff.
I won't put MSG in your stuff.
You know, in whose stuff?
She says she won't put it in your stuff.
No, I've been eating it for years. I'm immune. I've been eating from Ming's Kitchen for 37 years. I've been immune to it.
Yo,
That's like a toothpick to
he gonna
me.
go through detox now.
I'm trying
Right.
to.
Kevin's like,
Hey,
I need MSG. I'm like, that's why I
right.
bought it for
Hey
you.
I
man, hey,
promise you, your blood pressure gonna go right
He gonna
up.
be scratching.
listen, bruh, I've been scratching for years because I ain't had that Chinese
Kevin like,
food. We had Chinese food the other day, and I had to
yeah,
get
we
my
went.
mind
He
to
ate
understand.
most of that. He ate most of it.
I,
He gave me
I,
two
It ain't the same.
spoonfuls.
it's,
not.
listen, I keep
Jersey
telling
and New York Chinese
The
is
pork
totally
was
different from everybody
orange.
else.
New
The
York
pork was
is the
orange.
mecca for Chinese
No, it's
food.
not.
I
Yes,
don't
sir.
care.
It's
I
And
don't care what
pizza.
you say. New York,
Nah,
New
Jersey
York,
is pizza.
listen,
Jersey, okay.
New York pizza, excuse me, New York Chinese food, I promise you,
No.
it is a culture all its own.
Especially if
I
you go
don't
to
care.
Chinatown because you're eating
Chinatown.
Szechuan.
We didn't go to
You're
Chinatown.
eating-
We went to just regular Blacktown.
I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the fact that first of all, up there ain't black either. They just happen to be up there. They ain't none of us. We'd be the only two black people up in between that Chevron, that Vons, that China, and that Buffalo Wild Wings. We the only black people up there.
Lord
But
Jesus.
when I was in Patterson and I dialed 201-742-5722.
Thanks.
All he had to do was say, "This is Kevin," and he hung up.
My name,
No, the Kevin special. That's the part that's gross.
no, my
But
name
all
was
he
on
had
the
to say
menu.
was,
My
right.
name
This was on the menu. Him and Ronnie Smith.
Let's
Ronnie
get
Smith.
the bread.
Yep.
Let's get the bread. We
I
ain't
ain't done
my
yet. Hold on a
boyfriend
second.
here.
Hold on, sweetie.
I love you, Brent.
Brent, just hold on.
I'm gonna send you a text.
When we
right
turned
now.
around and we sat up there and we did that, when I went back and forth to Ming's kitchen, let me tell you, it was a culture. It was so bad. It was so bad that everybody that went in there, they never got chicken and broccoli, lo mein or whatever. They all went in there and said, I want 2 boxes, Kevin special. You know Kevin? You know Kevin?
Boxes.
Okay. Okay, come. We go now. We give you Kevin. Hold on. You want Mountain Dew? That's exactly what it
And
is.
to this day, this man won't let
And
me.
I literally took. But when I found out that Ming's Kitchen ain't nothing like you, I heard they
None of them
murdered
places are,
the
bro.
guy.
None of them.
I heard they murdered.
The only one in Patterson is still the good one is Goody on Market across from Seatown.
I ain't been there in years.
Let me tell you about
Now
Kevin.
And they
They're
don't
still
cook.
good.
They don't cook with oil. I know that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I heard. They were.
But
What
I
were you
go to
gonna say
Hackensack.
about?
Like
What
I
fried
go
were you
rice,
gonna
they
Oriental
say?
don't
and
use a lot of
Hold on.
oil.
What was you
Right.
gonna say?
I remember a while back. I took Kevin. We're gonna bring Brent on because he's our star of the show. We went to go have Wingstop, just Wingstop, and I went and I said, let me order the drink. So Wingstop has that little drink machine that you can just order, by your own. So I go in there and I knew he loved root beer, but I got what's the name of it?
Mr. Pips.
It was zero sugar
No.
root beer.
No, but what's the other one? It's not
A&W.
Barks. It was Barks.
I got Barks. I got Barks Zero. Put it in there. Put it in his cup. Put it in my cup. When he sat down, he turned up chicken. Chicken. And then drink. Now he has no more drink. I said, do you want some more? He said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I go get some more. He drink. I go like this. That's zero sugar. What? Zero sugar? Oh my God! I don't like zero sugar.
He was just
No,
thirsty.
you don't like diet.
Right.
Zero sugar is okay.
I said it's great, right? He was like, I love it, but I don't like.
I'm getting ready to bring
Now
Brent
her
on.
pound of her chest like Tarzan.
Yeah, I don't know where that's
what
coming
I
from.
was mimicking.
But at the end of the day, it was good. And I will say I've been drinking zero sugar ever since then.
I was about to say zero sugar is fine. It's the diet that has a
First of
different
all,
taste.
diet. When my grandmother used to drink diet, what was the name of that junk? Diet.
Crystal Light.
No, it was
I'm a
diet.
Diet
Cake,
Pepsi.
that's cool. It was.
I drink diet everything.
She drank
Me
that
too.
Shasta stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
I
she
can't
was
Shasta.
anything.
Not
God,
diet
that
though.
stuff was
I don't like
diet Shasta.
And
she was
Shasta,
drinking-
they used to have like the tangerine. And
Yeah, that
that's
crap
how-
was nasty. That was like
in
some
North
watered
Carolina,
down
they
version of.
In North Carolina, they give that to the hospital.
I can't.
Bro,
Well, no, back in the day,
Because people
Shasta
in
was
there
the
have
soda.
sugar diabetes. That's what's
Well,
happening.
she drank that, and my
Right. That's
grandma,
what they
all
call it.
she
Not diabetes, it's sugar diabetes.
is sugar,
Sugar
right?
diabetes.
No, they don't even say diabetes. You got the
They got the sugar.
sugars. Yeah.
Sugar beaties.
You got the
What's going
sugars.
on with Brent? Brent, what you been doing, and what
I'm
would you
gonna
drink?
introduce him, sweetheart. Relax.
I want
Allow
to
I'm
me
say,
gonna
to
introduce
introduce
I
him right
want to know
now.
what would you drink,
Um,
and would you also eat MSG?
just
Come
hold
on,
on
honey.
a second. I'm getting ready to introduce him right now. Hey Brent, before you answer that, let me ask this question real quick. Did you and it's kind of serious for 1 second. Did you when your when your dad passed, it was due to what was the symptoms for him passing when he passed away?
He don't like it. He don't like this question.
No. I know because we were talking about people
Men's
going
health.
to the doctor,
Oh, okay.
men's health,
Okay.
and all
Sorry.
that.
We'll bring
And
this back later.
what was that? And I'm only making that point because of what we're talking about. But well, let me put it this way: was your father an advocate for health? Was he about that?
No.
Okay. So when that happened, and I hated to hear that broke my heart. Second grade. Was it something that you feel that could have been avoided?
Absolutely. Um, well, first he was misdiagnosed. So they were saying that um, he had arthritis. So the process of him, having cancer, coming to find out he had cancer, um, we don't know how long it had been in his body without any type of treatment or any type of whatever. They were, he had got his prostate exam and all that kind of stuff, and so it was like, we don't see anything, well, yada yada yada. But he did not like to go to the doctor. Now I am completely different. Um, every
Same here.
time I go to my doctor, I end up naked. Like I need you to check everything.
Everything.
I mean, you know,
From
everything.
the to it. Yeah.
And so with him, we don't know when it started, the prostate cancer, because between the time he found out he had it and the time he died, it was 3.5 weeks. So
What?
we
3.5
spent
weeks.
3.5
That is
weeks.
very quick. Brent,
Which
tell
means
us
it's been sitting in there for a long time.
It
It's
was
been
dormant.
sitting there
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's
so
yeah.
he
but
had
tell us the difference
started.
between arthritis and then prostate, because that's bone and
Right. So
an
he never
artery.
had arthritis.
Okay.
He was
That's why you
complaining.
said he was misdiagnosed.
Yeah,
That's what that
he was complaining about like different pains and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I guess they did a checkup or whatever, and they were like, well, we don't see anything. But apparently the cancer was hiding, and he got into an accident with Federal Express in the truck because the tires on the FedEx truck were dry rotted and they exploded while he was on the highway.
Mm.
Um, and so that's another situation for another time. But
Mm.
I guess the commotion and the jerking and all of that, it kind of activated, if you will, the cancer. And no one caught it. And so by the time he found out what it was, because by the time he got to me, when he moved back to Jersey, when he was transitioning back into Jersey, because he died at Beth Israel,
I didn't know
he
that.
was
Crazy.
like his legs and his feet were extremely swollen. They were so swollen unto the point to where he could only wear like bedroom slippers. He couldn't wear regular shoes. And so I was like, well, that's not normal. Like, what is going on? Well, what we did not know is that his body had already started
Reacted to
breaking
the
down.
cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, like his organs started to shut down.
Wow.
And so even, when he was at the hospital, they tried to give him dialysis just to flush out his system. And they did it one time, but then the second time his body rejected it. So, you know, then he ended up passing away. But for me, I am an advocate for
That's good.
health, and even now, because he was only 49 years old when he passed away,
Wow, that's
um,
young.
we have to, my brothers and I, we have to go get yearly exams, prostate exams, and all those type of things. Now, if my brothers do it, I don't know. Me, I'm on top of everything. I do take I take vitamins every day. I take a lot of different supplements. I try to eat as clean as I can. Doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
But I do definitely try to
Especially
make sure
down
that
there where you at. Shoot.
I
Right.
know.
Eesh.
I try to make sure that I, walk a lot, get cardio and stuff like that. I mean, I work in the mall, so even like on my breaks and stuff, I'm doing laps around the mall. And so yeah, I was always kind of like a vitamin taker, supplement taker, even way before the pandemic, just because I noticed at an early age how different your body feels when you are taking those type of things or you put in those type of things in your system versus when you're not. Like if I'm not on my vitamins or anything like that, I'm sluggish, I'm tired, I'm like not really focused,
Yeah.
maybe a little more constipated, whatever the case may be. But when I'm on the vitamins, it's like everything is just like clock.
Clothes. Yeah.
So I'm an advocate for black men health. No, I don't care about white men and all that kind of stuff. They got their own thing. I don't. That ain't none of
And
my business.
and thank God for your dad because you probably would have never been like that if he wasn't where he was, right?
Yes and no. So
Okay.
yes, because you do, male children do what they see their male fathers do,
Do
right?
correct.
So, like for example, I've been wearing deodorant and cologne since before I ever needed it.
I hope so.
You
Jesus.
know, I don't have the testimony of having a strong body odor. I can
Yeah.
go skip a day and you'll never know. Because
Mm.
that has happened. When the pockets was a little low and I ain't had no deodorant. I'm just, I handle
Or
it
you're
later.
not in the space where the other deodorant is. I got it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I
So,
got you.
but with him, he and my mother, they made sure we always went to the dentist, we always went to the doctors, we were on top of our stuff. But when it came to his health, he kind of neglected himself a little bit. So for me, I probably would not have been as serious about my health if he had not passed away, but I definitely would have been, you know, doing some stuff.
I think Brent,
Yeah.
and we can go back to laughing. I just wanted to ask that because that was very, when I was setting up the stuff today, I was like, we do need to talk about it, and eventually people will watch this on YouTube or whatever. And the one thing I know about this is that you were mentioning vitamins and stuff like that. I used to take them back in the day, but I haven't taken a vitamin in so long, and I think because I still feel like I'm at that point, like I'm back to working out and everything, and my body's the type of body I only got to lift weights for about a week, and I'll look like I lift weights. Like that's just how my body.
Mhm.
And when that happens, and I go for the waters and stuff like that, my body craves water when I'm working out. Like for real, for real. Like when I get a cold, and not no lukewarm, but I can't stand that. But if I'm actually drinking like a cold bottle of water, it literally I feel like I'm everything that's like ripped apart or whatever, because that's what lifting weights is. You rip your muscles up, but it feels like it's pulling it back together. So I know vitamins is something that I have to do because, again, being at this age right
I'm
now.
gonna send you one from GNC specifically for men. That is amazing, and I
And what is it called?
wear
Does it
my.
give you energy?
It absolutely
Does
does.
that
So is it like
energy in
the
it?
Tanya, please with that bottle. Please.
I just want to know. Did that
I'm gonna
body
show
No.
you.
feel vegan?
Please with that bottle.
Trying to
That
kill
you
Please
me.
are
do not
literally
use the
no, hold on.
MSG.
Hold on, y'all.
I don't know
You
when
are
this even. I
Tanya.
don't even know
Tanya.
when this
You
even
Tanya.
expires.
You are leader. That's not going to. It says it, but you can't read this in
You
Chinese.
can't read it.
No,
Right.
I'm not trying to see this.
It
No,
says will
how?
give you headache.
It says, "Oh, that's the Mega Man." I know about that. I know about that.
I've
I know
heard
about
about
that.
that.
Yeah, they make you
The-
urinate quite a bit.
They do, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
highlighter yellow. But that's how
Yes,
you know
sir.
what you're
Wait,
doing.
Yes, sir. That is
what
working.
vitamin is that?
Whole
Mega
body.
Man. That's been out for years.
Mega Man.
I'm
That's been out
looking
for
Now,
at
years.
mine. I'm
one
looking
thing that
at
my
Greg.
doctor did
What are
tell
you
me
looking at?
about like the Mega Man vitamin as well as the multivitamins, you got to be careful, especially with the multivitamins, because there are a lot of
Mhm.
times where you'll have enough vitamins in your system. And for example, I went through an issue. I was taking a multivite because everybody's like, you run a lot and make sure you take your vitamins. I was like, okay, cool. I was taking a multivite and I built up a lot of calcium in my system. And I was going to
Nice.
use the
I need
bathroom.
calcium.
No. I was going to use the bathroom, and I was like, "Yo, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here?" And it was like it was starting to burn. I was like,
Uh-oh.
Oh, nothing.
no,
Uh-oh.
It
we
burns. It
ain't done
Uh-oh.
burns.
nothing. I ain't been with nobody. What is happening here?" And so
Okay.
I called my doctor. He was like, "Come in," and
Burning.
he was like, before he
Honey,
tested me for anything, he said,
honey.
"Question: Are you taking a multivitamin?" I'm ignoring her with this MSG. He said, "You
Yeah, I
taking a
think we all
multivitamin?"
should. Because ain't
I need
And
nobody
somebody.
paying attention to that.
I
I need the doctor
said,
to read
"Yeah, I
this.
am." And he was like, "Scott, stop taking it." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because what you're doing is you're building up things in your body that you don't need." He said, "What you really need to do is do a full blood workup and see where you're deficient and then take that. You know you have low iron, so you can take iron pills." He was like, "But if you taking vitamin C and all that, okay. But the other stuff you're building up in your system." And he said, "Really, too much calcium is like too much potassium. Eventually, it can kill you. Don't do
Oh
that."
Lord Jesus! Don't
So
do
I
Wow.
was
that,
like,
Scott. We need
wow,
you.
okay. And he said, "Stop taking it for a week and call me back and let me know what's going on." And literally 4 days later, I had stopped taking it. 4 days later, I was back to normal. Everything was good. He said, "I told you, your body was trying to excrete the calcium, and that was the only way that he could get it out." And he was like, "You were slowly killing yourself.
Well, see,
Jesus
with
So
with
Christ!
be
the Mega
very
Man, with the
careful."
Mega
Thank you,
Man,
Lord.
the Mega Man, because of the doses that you
Because
take,
Kevin
and I
will
remember
overdo
those,
himself.
like I said, you that
Mm.
Brent, that stuff has been out for years. I just
I'm
haven't
gonna
seen
get that, bro.
anybody use it. But what it does is it actually cleans out. It's not just a vitamin. It's not just a multivitamin, but it helps you to get rid of a lot of waste and stuff that's in your
Toxins,
body,
right?
like that you're trying to get rid of. And of course, like everything else, you got to take it in moderation. You can't be popping 5 or 6 of them,
Right.
and doing that. Because some people do that. Like the idiots I know when I was playing football, they would take all kind of multivitamin. I mean, there would be nothing left in the bottle by the time they done. But some of them ain't here to tell about it now. So that,
I actually do
One
the
now,
I
one that
actually
I
And
do the
I'll
do.
say,
pack.
I'm
I do the
sorry.
Vita
Right.
pack for the whole body.
Okay.
So being that we are of a certain age, there are certain things that your body stops
Lax.
producing. Right. So I do the whole
yeah,
body. I do the whole body. Now it's a lot of pills, but I take one pack a day,
hmm
and it has everything in it from brain health, reproductive
Testosterone, all of that.
function, circulation, prostate health, joint function, immune defense, eye health, heart health, energy production, gut health, muscle function, bone health, antioxidant protection, and cognitive support. So like it just gets everything. Now when I started taking them a while ago, a couple years ago, I was doing the Mega Man Sport. Now, Avery, that's the one where it's if you're like an athlete and you need a little more B12. So
B12.
it
No, that's right.
has
I'm
more,
an
it
athlete.
gives you more energy, stuff like that. And then it just makes you feel more alert. It just makes you feel a little better. I do those packs because a pack a day, I'm good. It's a lot
That's
of
a
pills
whole
in
lot
one
of
stuff.
pills. They ain't got all
It
in
is.
one.
So they
But what
do.
I was gonna
So
say,
they do.
versus the Mega Man, now what I do is the NutriBurst, but I do the liquid form. And NutriBurst has all of the vitamins as well as the antioxidants and all of that stuff
Mm-hmm.
for gut health. And when I tell you, I was drinking it like really when I first started, I was doing it every day. Now I do it like twice a week because there's so much in there, and eventually, because of what it's doing with the gut health and all that stuff, you'll start to feel your stomach feel just a little bit strange if you overdo it. But with me, I've done it twice a week, and I feel better. I've got more energy. I've never been irregular anyway when it came to using the bathroom, but it keeps everything
Come
in you.
on,
It's
Mm-hmm.
everything you need, and it's in liquid form. You ain't got to worry about taking it all in pills,
I don't
and you
like
just take a
liquids.
capful.
I can't do. I don't like liquids, especially
No, why I
you
like it
know.
is because you can't. It doesn't taste like you know how some of them taste like chalk. This one
Right.
doesn't taste like that. It has a fruit base.
But
So
yeah, but I
you
think when you take those kind of things, I think I'm traumatized from back when we was kids. And
Flintstone
my mother
kid.
had
right and
no,
Robitussin.
no. Yeah, that Robitussin, that Buckley's. Oh my
Oh,
Three
God.
sixes.
Father
Father
John.
John's.
First of all, 3 6s. Wait a minute. Do y'all know what
Father
that
John's
is?
was the truth, bro.
Father
Father
John was
John's
no.
will
Let's
get
go back.
everything out of you.
Let's go back. 3 6s. That was being used back in the 80s. But the thing about it was 3 6s. Nobody apostolic should
Nobody
have
was
been
doing
taking
that.
that.
Nobody was saying that.
Nobody should
In
have
the
been taking
listen,
three
in the
sixes.
Pentecostal church, we wasn't taking it either.
Nah, but you better get out of here with that.
And
And then we
castor
did,
oil was
and
another
my
one.
grandmother did castor oil, and I tell
Mhm.
you what, I bet she tried it that one time, and I colored her shirt real well with my inside.
Was it castor oil with a teaspoon of sugar or?
No,
No,
man, she from
forget
down
sugar. We
south. She
had
was
that
like,
all.
oh,
That's it.
yeah,
Ain't
she
no
wasn't
sugar.
doing none of that. No, she didn't play that. And I think that's another reason why I'm talking about it, because a lot of people are having a hard time. Like you guys just mentioned with the vitamins, right? Talk about the vitamins. Everything has a limit. Like you gotta be careful. Like eating natural foods, right? Okay,
Can't
cool.
overdo one.
We
Yeah.
get that foods have, it's natural, but you got to do it in moderation, and you got to
Moderation.
stay consistent. Now, the moderation is not what helps it. The
It's
moderation
consistency.
is the consistency that actually helps. Like calcium, right? I'm talking about the calcium found in milk.
MSG.
You can't get what do you call it? You can't get vitamin D in one bottle of milk.
No.
Like you
Or
got
MSG.
calcium for a ton.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm. Yo, I'm bugging
Please
on
put
that.
it.
Like she
Please.
got that from
Tanya.
Chick-fil-A,
No, I'm
bro.
saying you can't get calcium and MSG in milk. Like I'm just saying.
You
Like,
literally are holding death in your left hand right now.
no,
You
I'm
don't
Death
even
crack.
know it.
You've been
And it
eating
looked
this
like death crack.
all your life.
I ain't been
eating
eating
the
that
last 7
kind.
years.
And
The last 7 years you've been eating
don't.
it. You just stopped it because I told you to stop.
But I
I
also
didn't
noticed
stop.
that
That fool
about
right in
steak.
there.
People
You
say that
not
steak isn't good for you, like eating beef. But my thing is, it gives
or
you,
pork.
It has vitamins in that too.
yeah.
It has
And
protein
pork.
in
What
that
about
too. But
what's in pork? What gives us
it's,
pork?
bro, listen, I can't even do pork right now. When I tell you every time
I
I
can't
get a
either.
headache,
You
I
know
get
what
a
though?
Yeah,
Pork
headache.
is better than beef. It breaks down
That's
much
what I
Pork is
faster.
heard.
good bacon, but what?
And
that's true.
pork is
It
the
be
other
in your
white meat. It
system,
breaks through you
for like
your
3
system
weeks.
much faster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What beef? Yeah.
beef is in
Because
your
when y'all
system
go
for
get
like
those
3
Pork
weeks.
colonics, that
and
beef be coming out after 12 to
Wait,
15 to
I
19
always think
years.
about Beverly Hills Cop 3. And he was like, colonics have become my
Feel
friend.
like
He was like, they shoot the water up and then out comes a candy bar from when you were 5 years old.
when you're 5 years old.
and MSG. I'm just trying to tell you right now.
And this is the reality of
No,
it.
MSG is gonna
When
kill you. You won't have to
I
have a
haven't had no
colonic.
don't
insulin. I
please
had no.
listen.
I had no insulin.
Listen.
I'll tell you right now.
Listen. I'd rather not talk about that. She is let's not talk about it. But my whole point is that we have to do better, especially if you live or if you came up in the hood like all of us did, or some of us.
Yeah.
It was just bad eating everywhere. Like in New York, they had the fried chicken places, and then that was on every corner. And you had the Chinese restaurants, and you had the pizza, and then you had it
American
was just,
fried chicken.
and it
My
costs
lord.
more, to eat healthy than it does to eat bad.
That's true.
It costs way more. I remember time.
This is delicious.
Yo.
Like for real.
Let her go to sleep.
I'm not ready for you, but this is really delicious. This is really delicious.
Okay.
Did you really
finish
just
it?
take a handful of that?
No.
Oh Jesus.
It's right here. Like, can you see my hand? It's not a lot. It's very delicious.
You may as well go and just open up the iodized salt and put it in your hand and just take a whole
And just
handful.
eat it. And just
No,
eat
I
it.
put maybe 10 kernels on here, and I've eaten maybe 4.
You just ate a whole handful of salt. That's all you
A
did.
handful of high blood pressure.
Kevin,
High
Our
blood pressure.
palpitations.
this is delicious.
I'm
Okay,
not eating
James
that.
Cleveland said high blood, low blood, no blood at
No,
all.
I had 10
This too will pass.
I had 10 baby kernels. This
You got
boy,
three. You got
Kernels
four.
is for corn, sweetheart.
Right.
is that what you said? What? Tell me what?
Kernels are for corn.
I believe everything you're gonna say. What you gonna tell me right now?
Who?
Go,
We've been telling you not to eat it. Brent gonna tell you the same thing.
Babe, you've been eating this all this. You've been enjoying it. I want to know what you said. Just Brent, what you say?
We eat it in food.
Kernels are for kernels are for corn. So you had 10 grains of salt.
Okay.
Of salt. Well, no, she had 10 grains of MSG.
Maybe
MSG.
maybe eight.
Of
Maybe
death
eight
crack.
So I think
But analyze
so
it.
Tanya, here is what this is what we're trying to say. This
What's
is what is
wrong with
trying to be conveyed is that
They're
though
trying to save your
you
life.
are new to the MSG world, it is
Me?
not the best choice that we want you to make. However, if it is something that you do decide to do, we just want to make sure that you are aware of the risk.
In moderation.
But in moderation, because the Bible says do everything in moderation. And so if you have it like on a cheat day or something like that, then okay, cool. But do not make it a part of your daily seasoning when you cook.
Okay.
Especially with
I
no
appreciate
cucumber
that.
salads.
Thank you.
Brent, hold on.
Yes.
First of all, stop.
The reality.
It tastes like
No,
a season.
hold, Tanya.
Season something.
Tanya,
Okay,
time out. Brent,
so delicious.
the fact. Listen, I am 51 years old.
I thought.
Listen to me. Listen. I have never heard of anybody actually
Buying
going to
MSG.
a store and buying MSG.
I didn't know.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of that.
You're in the same zone as I am. I'm like, it was never a thing. It just was created out of what they like made.
But Tanya, let's go back. No. Let's go back. Hold on.
But it's an actual thing.
Let's go back. Hold on, Tanya. Let's go back. You went in there and said yourself that you thought that bringing all these elements together.
Kevin, I'm jumping off from my computer.
Okay, here's my question. If you thought that bringing all the things together made MSG, then why would you go and just buy
Because I didn't think I had all the things to make.
Well, she didn't know, Kevin, so she was just being inquisitive, and so she just wanted to try it out. Now she knows, and so she can make better decisions.
Okay.
That's what it is. She just wanted to. Sometimes you have to find out for yourself. And so, no, we Northeasterners have never went and asked for MSG.
I mean, not never.
Y'all niggas was eating MSG, but go ahead.
However, they do things a little differently on the West Coast. And so she just she was just curious about it. And now she, hey, it is what it is.
Lord have mercy.
When I tell you this little
oh my
kernel,
God, I'm so sick of that
kernels, but grams or micrograms, they do taste. It does taste a little good. I'm not gonna lie. It tastes like I ate some meat just now. My heart is heavy. And it's
see, Brent, every time you try to help,
I'm not trying to be funny, but it's
says something else.
Your heart is a little heavy.
Not heavy.
That's what she said.
Did I just breathe a lot of foam? I don't know. But it's great. It's good.
I love you so much. I can't even, words cannot describe. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to kill that white woman inside of you. Because she's ever alive.
Okay.
What?
She's alive. Kill her. You stay alive.
She's white.
But kill that white woman inside of you.
What?
You stay alive. But that white hoe, kill her.
Yeah. She's holding on strong.
Kill that white woman.
Kill that white woman inside.
Oh my God.
Still got some of that
What
valley,
shall
girl.
we say to these things?
Like white. Not mixed, just white.
No.
She said
She's
white. We talking about Martha Stewart.
No, get it out.
I can't even see some of y'all. I ain't got no glasses. I can't even see some of y'all.
I could not have said it any better, Brent. He was
Jesus.
helping you the whole time.
The whole time.
He had
we
enough.
love you,
I
though.
can't wait. I
He
can't
he
wait.
had
I
enough.
can't wait
Brent
to
had
film
enough.
Kevin.
I mean, it was
Brent-
when you said your heart was a little heavy, and all you had was 10 grains.
Oh, but his face was, he said, my heart is heavy. He said,
He said,
So you're gonna die on film. Yeah.
I think that this. I don't think that the who is the people who does the food. I don't think the people who let this go on the market.
There's a reason why it's in Chinese.
I want you
Right.
listen,
Exactly.
First of all,
They don't want
first
you
of
to read
all,
it.
listen. First of all, that is not a piece of furniture that they have Chinese, Spanish, and English. There is nothing but Chinese on that bottle.
Not even
And-
the face of that
But
panda
not
is
even the face. Listen, the face of the panda is Asian.
Asian.
You ain't never seen him before.
Exactly.
It's a panda. It's a panda. You right.
He ain't never, ever darkened the threshold of your door at any given time. You ain't
At
never
any
seen
given
nothing
point.
like
No
that.
way.
You got
Oh.
Pinko that don't look like that.
You right. You right.
I mean, the truth is, Tanya, you literally have bought poison, but you know,
We've been trying to tell her that the whole
That's
show,
all
bro.
we've been saying, and you've been so busy trying to
You
fight
wasn't
us.
saying that, Avery. You know I believe everything you say.
I did say it. I said you should have
Believe
bought
some of
that.
y'all said.
So they was
That's what she
talking
didn't
too
listen
loud.
to was me
We
the whole
definitely
time. So
told
I'm
you
glad
not to
that
buy
all
it.
four of y'all are up here and let her know.
We
What I'm
told
not
you,
ever
don't buy
listen,
this.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You play around if you want to. I will never come to your house and eat another thing if you up there trying to put MSG on stuff. I'll never eat another morsel ever.
Oh,
And
but
guess
we
what?
love you, though.
Listen, I've been eating it so long, I can tell if it's in there.
Right, you real
That I do know.
That I do know. That I do know.
I've been tearing up something between pork fried rice and chicken
Yo,
wings and
wait a minute.
I've been
Brett, I
tearing
think
He
you
is,
meant to
he
say
is right.
pause.
He is right down the street. He is right down
I
the
saw
hill.
your face,
You might be right. You might know.
He
I don't
said,
have
what?
nothing
That
to say.
tastes delicious. That tastes like I ate a steak in little bite-sized mini.
That's all right. Your heart don't feel like
No,
you ate steak
Tanya.
too.
Please don't do it.
I hope
All right,
that's
one more.
water that you're drinking to flush out what you just intook.
No, she's drinking
I
alcohol.
told you I was gonna text you later. Shut up.
Okay.
You drink boba tea?
No, that Kevin likes the little.
Do I drink
Like,
what?
like,
What
Boba
is
tea?
like
is it
Jello
tapioca?
balls.
Yeah. That's not.
Oh, they got them at Starbucks. Yeah, they taste pretty good. I like them. Yeah, they're pretty good.
First of all, I ain't doing
Call
nothing with Starbucks
the
right
white
now.
lady out of him.
Yo,
Ain't no white lady over here.
I ain't doing no
like that.
Starbucks. Nothing.
my little, my daughter drinks that every day. Literally, it's like
Starbucks?
$6.
No, that boba tea.
They like that stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good.
It's funny to me because it's called boba tea, but now people calling it bubble tea. I'm like, it's not bubble,
It's
it's
the same thing.
boba.
That's right.
It's the
That's
same
more right
thing.
than
Yeah, bubble tea.
Hey,
Because
Brent,
it
I
got the
think
little bubbles in.
It's
one
gnats
of
and
the
tea.
one of the things we're gonna do tonight,
Nasty.
because I know you came out a little later.
I gotta go because I gotta get up in the morning.
We were basically talking about Tony, you fall asleep on here all the time.
Shut up.
But we let her.
I'm just smelling it. I'm
You
not
obsessed.
doing it. I'm just
You are
smelling it.
obsessed.
I've
You
never
obsessed.
opened it till we were on this thing today. I've
She
had it
is
for 4
upset.
days.
I really believe you're gonna go in there and try it on something. I just think
You
she's
got
gonna
some
for the
do it.
night,
chicken
right?
I'm gonna throw it
bone
away.
right
I'm
now,
gonna
don't
throw it
you?
away.
That you
See, I
ready
threw it
to?
away.
You ain't throwing nowhere. It's in your lap.
So it's
Get
in your
out of
lap.
here. Get out of here. Get
I've
out
seen
of
those
here.
thighs.
It's gone.
Trust me.
First of all,
Yeah, it's gone. If it hit them thighs, you're right. It's gone.
first of
It's
all,
gone.
go ahead and what you were getting ready to say.
Anyway, on the bottom. It'll take you a while. But yeah, yo, Scott, somebody mentioned David Peaston. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Man, I ain't thought about that name in years. Okay, I just saw his name. I was like,
Yeah.
He's the first one that actually started winning all the time on the Apollo. He was the first one that kept winning.
David
Anyway,
Peterson.
yeah, so this was a good show tonight. I think the other thing about this is, and I'm so serious, I think we should probably like really look into doing this maybe next week if it's possible. But I'm thinking about having somebody on here like a nutritionist or something like that.
Mm.
Because,
Jill Wayne.
we need to find out, because there's so many things that people are saying, right? Here's the reality. My cousin CJ stepped on a nail one time.
Mm.
He was outside at Brookslow Projects up there, and he stepped on the nail. The nail went through his shoe, pierced his whole foot. Like it went straight. I don't even know how that happened, but it went through his foot. And so he was bleeding. The blood was coming out the shoe a little bit. So I knew it had really, got to him. Came inside, and my grandmother took the shoe off. He got blood on down his heel or whatever. And she said, "Go get me a slice of bacon
And a penny.
and a penny,
Ooh,
and we're gonna wrap it in tape." And 3 hours later, she went to take that thing off his foot, and the bacon was olive green. And I said,
all the toxins out.
I'm young, I'm right, but I got to find this out. I said, "Grandma, what exactly did what happened?" She said the copper from the penny actually drew the toxins and the infection out of his foot. But what the bacon did was, the bacon was actually pretty much a whole slab of infection. It pulled it out. So when you threw out the bacon, you threw out the infection.
Oh, that's deep.
I said, okay, that worked. Well, some years later, I have a cut right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's a whole little scar right there. I will always be reminded of disobedience all the time. I was outside standing on my Aunt Brenda's car, and I literally kept jumping off of it. And this is the front. I'm not even on the hood. I'm on the front of the car. So on the front, on the right side, there was an antenna that was ripped. It was broken off. So the third time she told me, she said, "If I come out here again and you on my car, I'm going to get you." I said, "Okay, fine." Well, I thought I was slick. I waited till she turned her back. I went to jump on the car. She turned around quickly, and I had landed on the hood. When I went to get off the car, the antenna went into my arm and split my arm.
Jesus.
So Rhonda was sitting on Avery and Scott. She was sitting on the clothesline. Brent, you know too. And they had a tire attached to it, so she was swinging back and forth on it. And Rhonda kept saying, I kept doing like this because it was, it was wet. And anybody who knows Rhonda, she just like she just started screaming out. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, "What you talking about?" I go to look down, and all 5 fingers just have drops of blood just falling. And so I looked up, I ran inside, I'm about to pass out because everybody knows, I'll try to kill a person, but I can't stand the blood. Went inside, my grandmother said, "Are you bleeding?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I want you to go inside, and I want you to give me a slice of bacon. Go get me a penny." And then she said, "But Lorraine, cut an onion up for me."
Yep.
I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Onion?" My Uncle Benjamin said, "Are we about to eat breakfast? Because why are you getting bacon and onions?"
You draw that same thing. Draw that infection out.
She went and took, but now the onion was stinging because that got some problems. She went and put the peroxide first, started bubbling up. She put the onion right on top of it. She put the bacon up there. It's burning like crazy. Hey man, about maybe almost an hour and a half later, she took it off, and she had to go and get some Vaseline and go underneath the onion because the properties of the onion had attached itself to my skin. She went up there and she oiled it, and it peeled a little bit, like pulling it off. But when I tell you, my skin scabbed up in about 6 minutes. It had this like gold scab on. Nice. And then like a week later, it was almost like I didn't have the scab fell off, and I've had this for literally about 40 years.
I was looking at it Sunday.
We when we get sick, they would give us spider webs and orange juice.
I heard
Yes.
See, the
about that
thing is,
too.
Kevin can't do spider webs. Nothing spider, nothing. Spider web, spider baby people, spider baby, spider
I
Bible, spider
can't.
nothing. Kevin can't do it.
Uh-oh.
Spider webs and orange juice,
I don't know. Spider juice, spider.
and it literally would.
Yeah,
If
I
you have
heard
a
about
fever,
that.
Break your fever.
Explain the spider web and orange juice. Explain what that looks like, because that makes no sense.
so it's
And
so
I
you
got
know a
4 minutes
spider
on the
web
clock.
is sticky. So the orange juice is just to help it go down. But there are
Okay.
nutrients, believe it or not, in spider webs that spiders have naturally in their body that can draw out infection in your body.
So you're
And so,
taking the
which
spider, you're going like this, and you're putting on, and you're
spider
putting
web?
juice.
No, you
Oh,
swallow
the
it.
web. Yeah.
Oh, drink it with your mouth.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, so
I
they
get it.
what they
Thank you.
did was they would, and this has happened. I mean, this happened to me several times. You know, living in Florida when we left Jersey, and them old country people, and they would take a spider web and they would ball it, like rub it in their hand to make it a little ball, and they would just tell you open your mouth, and they'll put it in your mouth, and but you have to chase it with the orange juice. So
Uh,
it's like a one move type of situation, and then within a couple of hours, you felt a whole lot better. Your fever would be gone.
There's a lot of
And
healing
you
remedies
and you
like that.
don't have arachnophobia after this.
No, and I
no.
do.
So what they do is they call it a pyrexia.
Come on,
And
doctor.
it's no, well, I remember watching it on the Cosby Show. They were talking about it because he was talking about all the different home remedies that the mothers were coming up with, and he was saying that there's it's vitamin K that's
Hmm.
in the spider web that actually breaks the fever down
Hmm.
Well, let me
from
say
other
this.
infections.
I don't, I don't have much to say other than hell no.
Well, with the
Um,
spider webs,
I am not going to look at a spider web and feel like, oh, I'm going to roll it up and put it in my mouth because I want to feel better. Fuck that. I'm going to go and get some medicine. I'm just going to go lay my black ass down. Because what I'm
Kevin, did
not
you
going
want
to
to
do,
tell us
or
what
no,
happened in
or you can
San
put an onion
Diego?
in your sock.
Kevin, what about what happened in San Diego on the balcony? And you saw a spider web. You
are you
said,
serious right now? Are you serious right now? Are you
Well,
really
see,
serious right now? No,
I don't know if I
hold on.
want to
Before
know.
any, no. Before anybody says anything else, Brent would love this story more than anything, but I'm not about to tell him. My question is, are you seriously doing that?
I am.
Well, you don't want them to know.
Is this show real or not?
You don't. They don't. You don't want them to know what was
Brent,
going on.
hold on. Pause, babe. Hold on, pause. Brent, what do you think is being insinuated right now? And I will come back to you,
well,
Kevin.
first of all, what I want to know is whether both of you were on a balcony,
Looking at spider webs.
Uh-oh.
because there's
Well,
a certain
first of all,
position you got to
well,
be in to
No,
look at a spider
Kevin, no.
web.
Go ahead.
what happened was they were
No,
on
no,
the
no answer. No answer.
who.
Us, we don't have an
Hey,
answer.
I'm gonna put my feet up like he did on my cousin Vinny.
First of all, what I'm trying to figure out is why you
Kevin,
even
why
said
you?
that, because you have a bunch of people on here that have minds that go whichever way they want to go.
You already know.
But not with him up there. So I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to entertain what she said.
Oh, or worship could have been happening. Go ahead. Go
Or
ahead,
what?
Brent.
Or worship was happening.
Yeah.
We all
And
live.
Brent,
We all
go
used
ahead.
to live in Jersey, so we got that mind.
It was
I
in
was
San
going to
Diego.
say
Oh no.
what we
No.
have to understand is that most of the African American heritage comes from hoodoo, and it
Uh-huh.
comes from roots.
Roots.
And so
Absolutely.
a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these
Absolutely.
remedies, root
Right.
doctors, and a lot
Right.
of
The
these
root.
remedies
Right.
and stuff
What's
that
happening now?
Right.
take, or that was passed down to us, came from Africa, which
Absolutely.
From the root.
they didn't have access to European
Medicine.
medicines. So
Right.
what did we do? We ate of the earth, and
Right.
Oh,
we
eight
took
of the earth.
of the earth.
Eight of the earth. I like that.
and
Eight
and
of the earth.
then
Mhm.
I mean, the whole Church of God in Christ was founded by a man who did hoodoo. That's
Yeah.
that's not something that I heard. I mean, that's
Nah,
something
that's
that is
we
That's a part of the
documented.
history.
It's a part of the history. That's the tree.
which explains a whole lot.
Yes, but
No, but that
anyway,
explains the tree as a part of the crest for the Church of God in Christ.
absolutely,
Right, right,
absolutely.
right.
But we're not going to get into that because they. Okay. Anyway,
They
so
suing
I
people. They suing
Excuse
people
me.
right now.
they
They
ain't gonna
are.
sue me.
They suing folks.
They're not gonna sue me because unfortunately, if they tried, I have too many receipts on too many people that
Oh
would throw the
no,
case out. But anyway,
no,
I
no,
like
no,
you. I
um,
no.
like you, Bob.
Cases
I like
missed.
you.
Saved by grace.
He dropped
oh,
his
Jesus
charges.
dropped charges.
people only try you when they think you don't have
Receipts.
Absolutely,
receipts.
absolutely.
That part.
And
So
it's not,
That
and it's
part.
not, and it's not just about receipts. But the real deal is that they really don't know who else knows.
right,
Yeah,
That part.
that part.
and you don't
They
know what
don't know.
screenshot has been shared, and
No, no.
I've been in situations where people didn't even know I was in the room, and they was on FaceTime with some of my friends. And I'm sitting there on the side of the phone because if you hold your phone a certain way, you don't know who
You
is
can't
around
see.
who. So I'm sitting there
You
looking
can't
and
see the
listening
whole
to
room.
I'm sitting there looking and listening to the whole conversations, and I'm like, oh, okay,
What I don't
got
like is
it.
when people take pictures of you and then they send them to you on your text messages, and then they be like, "Yeah,
Shut up.
they hold
Anyway,
on to them.
moving
They
on.
hold on
Moving
to them."
So
on.
Tanya's guilty. Got it.
Yeah,
I'm
got it.
not
See, she told
guilty.
on herself.
I'm not guilty. I'm
She
not
told on
guilty of
herself.
nothing. I
But
just want to
this
shut
is
up
the
because of my
thing.
cousins.
This is
Oh, his cousins.
this is the thing. When it comes to the roots and everything and all of that stuff, it's quite clear that they knew something. And see, they were not distracted a lot of times back in those days.
Right.
So they had more time to deal with it. Some of the stuff, like when I moved to Nashville and I saw kids were sick and they would take potatoes and put them on a piece of thread and tie it around the
Yep.
child's neck, and then it would get
Or a
hard.
piece of it on their foot.
Yeah, well, what I learned about that was when they took the onions and they cut them up and
Yep.
put them on the bottom of a child's foot
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
wrapped them up on the socks or put
Yeah.
It
a
drew the
ace
fever
bandage or
out.
something. It drew the fever
It
out. That
Mhm.
smelled
shucks.
like
Yep.
McDonald's and White Castle in there later on, but I mean, they
Right.
felt
Yeah.
better,
I
But
like
that
onions
onion,
on
when
my
it
foot.
draws the fever out, that thing turned black.
yeah, it's nasty, bro. It's
Either
nasty.
onion or potato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Potato
Yep.
too.
Either one of
the
those two.
potato
Yep.
gets hard as a brick because
Yeah.
it dries out. It literally takes the stuff and it dries out. So, I think a lot of that stuff comes from, like you said, the root and everything. I think one of the biggest things about it is that we still have to do better. Like I'm back to drinking a lot of water, and just that kind of stuff. I think one of the biggest things too. Brittany been hearing the story. I didn't know anything about that, but this cancer thing has run rampant through Black people
Mhm.
like you would
Yeah.
For
not
real. For real.
believe. It has
Mhm.
killed. So I remember when we were scared of AIDS. We're not even scared of that no more.
No,
We
they
ain't scared of
Oh,
HIV no
it's
more.
not as rampant.
AIDS
You're right.
they equate AIDS and HIV as to like a regular STD.
Yeah, and that's crazy because that crap will kill you.
Oh
AIDS
yeah.
will, HIV won't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
HIV
We
won't. But
won't.
I'm saying I wouldn't even want them initials in my doggone profile. I don't want them. So, but I just look at even with the AIDS epidemic and pandemic and the way that was going, they don't even talk about that no more. It's cancer. Like
Yes, sir. Yeah.
it's cancer. It's nothing else. There's pancreatic cancer. There's spinal meningitis. There's what's the other cancer? Liver cancer.
That
Tiffany Nolley.
meningitis is the one that's taking me out.
Stomach
Man, David
cancer.
Cole died
Is
from that. That spinal meningitis
I
ain't
know
no
it.
pump,
Spinal
man.
meningitis is no joke.
And the girl Tiffany Nolley that just passed away right before Kirby did, she had leukemia, but they went in to do her autopsy and found out she had a whole case of spinal meningitis and nobody knew about it.
Wow.
A whole case, like literally, they opened her body up and saw that her spine was deteriorating. Joel Smith died from that.
Yep.
Spinal cancer. Walter died from pancreatic cancer. Edwin died from
Pancreatic.
it's all cancer. It's just cancer.
But we do know though with the Hawkins though they did smoke, so that also did help.
Well, I was hoping you didn't say that, but now that you said it, they did.
Everybody, I mean, who didn't know that?
Man, but if George Burns could sit here and be almost 100 years old before he died, he was smoking.
But no,
anyway.
he was smoking cigars. He wasn't smoking cigarettes. And that's the
You
difference.
don't,
Cigars.
inhale. Don't
You
inhale.
don't inhale,
hell.
number one. And
No,
number
we're gonna go with
two,
that shit.
also with the cigarettes, you got to remember that if they're not hand-rolled cigarettes, you're not getting pure nicotine. They
You're
got
not
those
getting
filters on them. And the
nicotine.
filters
That's
are the
right.
ones that have the
Kevin,
carcinogens.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said, Kevin,
said
shut
what?
up. I said,
No,
Kevin,
I'm not
hush.
shutting up.
I'm
Cigars
just
are great.
saying, bro.
And I'm also getting sleepy. I gotta get up early. I gotta be up at 4:45. I love you all, and I'm gonna keep
Well, God
listening.
bless your heart
but
and
I
all
won't
your
be on
parts.
here. I
Can
won't
you
be on
make
here
sure you
bitching.
throw that bottle in the garbage though before you go to bed?
Please.
No, it's right here.
It's in her
Where
thighs.
is it?
Brent told you where it was.
No,
Kevin gonna get you.
when he takes, he gonna be like this.
I'm
Let
not
me tell you
eating
about
it.
Kevin.
I told
He
you
be
not to
saying
put
one
that stuff.
thing.
No.
No. Let me tell you about Kevin. He'll say one thing, but he don't be living it. This right here, he gonna be like this. That tastes like steak. I promise you, it does. And I'm not a steak.
Let me say this to y'all right now.
Look at Brent. Brent said,
I'm not. Right. Brent know better.
Kevin,
You know
I shouldn't have said that. I should have told you it's the four of y'all. Or the one, two, three. The
No,
three
it's
of y'all.
fine. It's too late now. You already did it. All right.
I
Well,
love y'all.
she's got to go.
Bye.
All right. So,
He just put her backstage. She's got to go.
Hey, go put me
what
back.
happened?
Ooh. Ooh. You gotta live after these days.
What you say? What you say?
You gotta live after Wednesdays. You gotta live after Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Bye, y'all. I love y'all.
What you say?
Over here. I love them. Is what I said.
Oh, you said you're okay. Cool. All right. That's all right.
Nigga, don't be putting me backstage, mother chucker. Bye, y'all.
You didn't mind being backstage no other time.
Huh? First of all,
And Brent knows that for himself. Brent was there.
What's
You didn't mind being backstage.
Kev
You
said
don't
it was
mind.
a golden time of day.
It was the opposite. There are times.
Avery, Scott, I got all your information. I'll let y'all know what happened during the week.
Let's talk about backstage. Let's talk about backstage. Let's talk about the after party. Let's talk about the after party. Let's talk about backstage.
I'm gonna keep listening. Just know I'm gonna keep listening. You say something.
You gonna keep what? You gonna keep what?
Keep listening. You say something.
Wait a minute. No. What did you say? You gonna keep what?
You're gonna get beat up.
I worry not about it.
My God.
Well, this is a good show tonight. Tracy got up a little early. She said, I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to be up here until I'm not up here.
That's right.
What did she say? She said, I'm going to get you. Life is good.
Good.
Life is good. Well, Brent, we can ready to get off of here.
I don't have nothing.
You're lying. You know, Terrence ain't here to tell you, Brent, be nice.
He's in Asia, right?
He came
No,
back.
he's back.
He's
back.
Oh, he's back. Oh,
He's back.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, I'll ask you about what's going on once we get off of here.
Okay.
Yeah, because I found some stuff out there I wasn't privy to. I just want everybody to know Lorraine Stansel is out ziplining on cruise ships. I just want y'all to understand.
Live your life. That's right.
I got
Ain't
a
nobody
video,
ziplining.
and I said, who is that on that host? And Jacob said, your mother. I said, hey, get that woman off there. That lady 70 years old ziplining like she's 20.
Ziplining.
that's
Pam
good.
went
Good
last
for her.
year. She said, I don't know what's up with these 60, 70-year-olds. They just want to go.
Yeah, but she got married when my sister jumped off a little canyon in Jamaica. And when Scott died, She got pissed off at me talking about, why do y'all have to keep jumping out and off of stuff? I don't get it. Now you up here dangling
No, she
over
hanging.
a 4,000 passenger boat, and you just up in the air, just by the ocean, hanging off. Talking about, I would say pray for her, but I don't know.
She is living her life,
living
You know,
and
Lord,
enjoying it. That's right.
You know, the Lord, he hears all our prayers, but he don't have to respond to them.
Well, you know, to her defense, she's
That's
been
very
singing
true.
at so many funerals until she decided, listen, let me just
But
go
she
ahead.
gonna go live.
Brother, you ain't never lied. She probably looking down like, long as it ain't me in this box, I'm gonna do what I
I'd
want.
rather be
Man.
swinging from the sky than to be in the box.
And then
I'm
be
telling you the
laying in
truth.
front of folk. But I know if that zip line don't work out right, you're gonna be in that box. Keep it up.
Right.
All you gotta hear is snip.
telling
That's
you.
it. Yes.
And Scott, you did a wonderful job playing
Yeah, you crushed
at
that, bro.
Bishop's funeral. And what you play so you did a solo recently at somebody's
Oh
funeral.
no, that was at the installation. That was Kyle's installation.
Kyle's
ordination.
installation. Okay, I knew it was somewhere in South Jersey.
Kyle who?
Yeah.
Kyle Saunders.
from
Anders from
Bishop's
Bishop's Church, Grace Cathedral.
No idea.
Yeah.
Well, you know the Bishop's Choir.
I know
From Trenton.
Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
that
one of
church.
the. He
Well,
used
Kyle
to sing
sang with
tenor.
them.
Oh, okay.
You did
All right.
really good. You did really good. That was the
Bless
first
you,
time
man.
I ever
And
heard
listen,
you play.
that was Dr. Taylor calling the audible. I was sitting in the congregation in my clergy attire, enjoying worship, sitting next to Lorraine, cracking up with her and Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
And all I heard was Dr. Scott Cumberbatch. I was like, wait, what? Like, what did I do? I was like, okay.
It's always a joy to hear you, brother.
You did really good. I was
Bless you.
thoroughly surprised. A little flat, but you did so.
This fool's talking about a little flat. How's a
You gonna
keyboard
flat on the
flat?
piano? I'm about to say, how you do that?
It's a little out of
listen.
tune.
It was a
Listen,
little.
Some of your
you gotta be a
progressions.
master to take a piano.
You gotta be a
tune,
master
God. You
for
gotta
real.
You gotta give. You gotta
Some
give.
of your progressions weren't
That's a
as
special
smooth
anointing.
as you might have thought they were in your
Wait a
head.
minute, Brent.
But
you said they
Listen,
weren't
none
what?
of it was
Brent, you
smooth
said
in
they
my
weren't
head
what?
because I was like,
Look, hold on, Scott. Brent, what you say? Say it again.
some of the progressions were not as smooth as you thought they were in your head. But you know,
if that is not a Kimberell move, I'll pay you.
Wait a minute. What do you want? What do you want?
She said, "I will not be silent."
We're gonna take you off. You're in the bed. I don't need nobody saying that. And yeah. So,
but no, you did a really good job. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
what do you want?
Yo,
What
what
is
is
she
with
doing?
you two?
What is she doing?
Kevin,
I can't hear.
Yo,
I can't hear.
if
We
you
can't
wake
hear you,
up and leave
Tanya.
Get
your
out,
house
Tanya,
and there's
she
a
muted.
panda at your door in the
How do
morning,
you do? I forgot I put myself on mute. How do you say something like, Brent, you are stupid? It's not
All right.
true, Steve. It's not true. And I'm up because Brent woke me all the way up. What?
Some of your, it just wasn't.
Oh yeah.
I know
Your
in your
transition
head it
is so
sounded better
flat.
than what was coming across.
I had to
But you were called on the spot. You were thinking.
Shut
You were trying.
up.
But what I
This is
love,
exactly what happens
what I
when
love
you
the
hang with
most,
Kimberell.
I am definitely her child. What I love the most is the simple approach that you took to it.
That was all it needed
It wasn't
to be.
too busy. It wasn't given too much. You
That
didn't
was
really
all it
let the
needed to be.
Lord use you.
This
But
guy.
Oh
it
no!
was definitely,
Oh
it was definitely
no!
flesh.
You said who was it? What was it, Brent?
It was definitely flesh.
Yeah.
you didn't let the Lord use you.
Completely. No. I mean, he had a little bit of his way, but he just didn't have full control. I could tell there was a lot of Scott in it. There was a lot of Scott. There was a lot of scotch in it.
Scott, this is me.
Yo,
I don't agree.
that is funny.
Yo, I cannot.
So maybe if the next time, because surely somebody's going to die next. So
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
at the rate we're going, we don't know who's going to be next.
Oh,
So the next time they call you, you know, maybe a
Oh,
little
my Lord.
less, maybe a little less of Scott and more of Yahweh.
What?
Just a little nugget.
Yeah, I
You
promise
know,
you, we use that.
If I
A little more
had
oh
Yahweh.
my Lord.
offer
Oh my God.
suggestion, maybe just a little less Scott next time, and a little more of Jesus.
I feel like I am on an episode of Sunday Best. I promise you. Why is she back? What is happening?
I'm going to take off permanently. Say
It's
goodnight,
like one of
Tommy.
them baby kids.
That's
Say
what
goodnight.
They don't die, they
Kevin,
multiply.
you stop taking me off back off and on. Stop taking me off and on, okay?
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Sweet
You know what?
oh my Lord.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna whoop his tail when I get off. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
Kevin gonna wake up and have that little panda at his door.
He gonna wake up and have one eye. He gonna wake up
Don't
having one.
eat the chicken, Kevin. Don't eat the
Don't
chicken.
even-
He
Not
gonna eat that
eating
shit
none of
because
it.
he loved MSG.
Oh,
No,
No.
don't do it now.
No, I'm not eating any of it. I know that.
my
I know,
God.
I know how I got my MSG, and I'm not getting it through her.
Oh my
through the
God.
regular Chinese people, I'm not getting it.
Bought this hair from Chinese people.
You bought that what?
This hair.
You bought that hair from China? Oh, I don't really hair. I don't care nothing about that. I don't give a damn about that hair. That shit don't mean nothing to me. I'm talking about the food. I ain't talking about that damn hair.
First of all, stop putting me off and on. If I want to be on, I be on.
Okay.
Oh no. You keep cutting her off.
I'm done.
It's gonna
Come
start
on.
a war.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all go because you ain't gonna keep doing this to me. What you ain't gonna do is throw me like a yo-yo. I love y'all. I love everybody else but Kevin.
Right now.
I'm
Okay.
used to it. I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
We love
Good
you too,
night.
Tanya. You get some rest.
Yes, I will. Don't say
Oh
nothing
my
else funny.
Lord.
Don't say nothing else funny. Please.
I'm sorry, Miss Calhoun, but I got nothing to do with it.
Oh,
Bye, y'all. Y'all so
Avery?
crazy.
No such thing. No such thing.
right.
No such a thing. No such a thing. He tried to touch me. No such thing.
You. Oh God. Yo, it wasn't until I watched Coming to America that I realized that Eddie Murphy has this thing about animals and just being funny at the most inopportune times. So, of course, that scene in Coming to America, in Harlem Nights, where they're going back and forth with the parrot, right?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
But then in Coming to America, when they're at the house and the king comes and Aeolian is there, and he's running back and forth, and the dog is just like looking.
Did you see the dog? Yo, did you see the dog at the end when he was like, he said, I thought,
Get him.
No,
he said, I thought you were the king. He turned around and looked at that dog said,
no, did you see that James face when he fell up the stairs?
That is my favorite movie, Coming to America.
Listen,
Oh,
I
Coming to
remember
America
when
is
it
my
first
movie.
came out, I thought it was a joke. I thought they was just doing some stupid. I didn't know
Oh
it was
my
a
God.
real movie. When it got to the
Oh.
middle, I was like, "This is," and that movie is almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
And if you watch it
Do you
now,
know I was watching that movie when we first started this? A couple hours ago, it came on. I was sitting there watching it. Oh my God!
bro,
And every time you watch it, you see something different.
you see something that you didn't see
Something
before.
never seen
Like it
before.
took
I
me
watch
years
it
to
like
find
I've
out
never
that
seen
was
it before.
Cuban Gooding Jr.
In the
that
barbershop
chair
In the
in the barbershop.
the-
I didn't
when he
know
was
that
not
was him
cutting his
all that
hair,
time. Yeah,
when he was
he
not
wasn't
cutting his
even
hair.
doing. He was like, his hair was right here. He was like, and then he had that stupid look on his face. That jump was funny. I think one of my favorite scenes was when, and I guess we didn't talk about that, so we talk about our favorite scenes in movies, but when they was at the what's the name of the rally?
The Miss Black Awareness pageant.
Miss Black Awareness pageant. Ladies, turn around for me, please.
I know there's a God somewhere. Oh yes.
It was a guy.
You have to. They can take the picture, but only God.
It was a guy. There was a guy in the audience when they turned around. This man, you got to see him. He was in like the fourth row. He said,
Did you see that? Did you see the lady in the back? She was like, "Hey man, hey man."
Yes,
and he turned around. He looked. Arsenio Hall
Amen, brother.
Eddie Murphy said, "Joy."
Do you love him? Joy.
I'm very happy to be here.
Can I get a witness? Yeah. No, the problem when he started, he said, "I'm gonna pray for you."
And I want you to
hold on, change the hands. Get him down.
Lord.
That movie is
the part that was funny
gold.
when they came and when King Joffrey Joffrey came, and was in the tub.
Yeah.
He said,
"Where's my son?" He was like, "You are not my son."
You are not my son. That. I know that.
I know that.
You are not
down
here. He said, "What is this McDonald's?"
I think he works.
My son works. He said, "Your only job was to look after Hakeem. How can you let such a thing come to pass?"
Hakeem has got quite mad, Your Majesty.
Take him back to our quarters, and I want you to bathe him.
Feed him thoroughly.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
No, at the beginning, when he said, "My son, we never had the conversation, but I thought you had sex with your bathers."
I know I do.
He said, "Hey, Scott, he said, I tied my shoes once. It was an overrated
experience." So you want to sow your royal oats? Go out, see the world.
Go out, see the world.
Come back in 40 days and marry Imani.
Come back and marry Imani.
That is it. It is safe. Oh, man.
You wouldn't go for a woman to stop the priest of culture. A woman suitable for a king.
We'll find such a man.
Hello, Babar.
That part was funny as heck. That elephant came walking across his feet.
Hello, Babar.
Hello. That crap was fun. The funny part,
man.
Like, what is your name? He said, "I am Alien." He said, "Hey, Alien."
Alien.
Hey, alien.
I don't know whether to bow or to break dance.
I feel like breakdance.
Oh God, yo, that movie.
The boy got his own money.
He said, and when I say the boy's got his own money,
I mean the boy got his own money.
Oh, you know this time,
I don't care where you are. This is America, Jack.
You said what?
I'm gonna break my foot off and go run.
And the dog was like,
yeah. The man beneath me, and so is dog. So is his dog. That joke was fun. Hey man, every time I watch that movie, I done had the VHS.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. I done had the laser
DVD.
I had the DVD. I had all this stuff in that movie. And
Me
every
too.
single time I watch that movie, that's probably one of the best movies ever done. He can't do nothing better than that. He done did a lot.
Yeah, I was a little mad there was a Coming to America too. I was really upset.
I didn't like it, man. I tried to like.
either.
I didn't like it. I think they messed up the plastic. They messed
I
up
like
the
parts
plastic,
of it.
bro.
And what I appreciated about it though, it wasn't that he tried to remake it. It was just
Right.
like
It was
this is
something
like
different.
35 years later. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something.
It was different, but now I understood why it took them 10 years to get to it because they couldn't come up with a good enough plot.
And then so many people died from it though, because his mom, Madge Sinclair.
Yeah, I know it. Madge Sinclair died right after the movie was done.
Right after
No, she died after Lion King.
That's right.
That's right.
It was Lion King. Yeah.
She did that. Yeah.
Madison Sinclair,
the Queen.
Madge Sinclair.
Madge Sinclair.
Aeolian.
Yeah, she died right after Lion King.
Lion King.
Cartoon.
In fact, she was sick, but she was sick in Coming to America.
Yeah.
She had been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the original one or the second one?
No, the original one.
The original one.
She had cancer way back then?
Yeah.
She
died in the 90s.
She died in 94.
She literally died right after.
And the Lion King, The Land Before Time, and
Lion King came out in 94 when we were filming Bad Boys 1.
That was a beautiful
so when
woman.
that came out, she was already diagnosed.
She was already gone. No, she was gone when Lion King came out. She was already gone.
I'm talking about when Coming to America was happening.
Oh yeah, because Coming to America was 88.
Yeah, she was leaving set, and she would have to go and get treatment, and then she would. But they did wonders for her makeup because they said if you look at her bone structure, you can see like at some of the last parts of the movie.
Right.
She was losing weight.
She was drawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see, my son, there's a thin line between love and nausea.
Listen, every time I see that movie, I think the funniest part was when he was coming back when he first got to the apartment. Homeboy looked in the mirror, opened the door. He didn't say hi, and they said, "All right, what do you want?"
That's New York.
We desire a room.
He said, "You been up and giving around. You got money? Come on in, gentlemen.
Come on in, gentlemen."
That's
my apologies. You came in off of another boat.
He said, "We seek meager accommodations." He said, "Yeah, this one apartment, it's real."
He said, "Hey, Stu, your rent's due, motherfucker. Don't be grilling that falling down the stairs."
And the crazy part, that was Eddie's uncle.
Stu. Yeah, that was his name.
He was in Harlem Nights. I remember that. Dude,
yep, he was.
He was in Harlem Nights.
Yep. Oh my God.
That man used his family in everything.
Adam Sandler do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All his boys
and Ben Stiller too.
Like when we go, everybody go.
When Ben Stiller did what was the movie? Heavyweights.
Yeah.
And he had his mother and father in it.
Yeah. Yeah. His father, I've been watching
Jerry Stiller was hilarious.
Oh, that man.
I think he died too, didn't he?
He passed away.
He and Amir, they both did.
Wow.
He passed away. So, well, fellas, I appreciate y'all tonight. We've been on here. Oh my gosh, 3 hours and 31 minutes.
I can't believe it's 12:48.
Yeah, it's 9:48 here. I'm here to turn this air on. I was gonna make something to eat. Looks like I'm not tonight.
It's time for bed.
Stay away from the panda.
Right.
I wish I could bring her crazy behind back. I know she's sitting right there with that thing in the bed right now. I bet you she is. I bet you. I don't want nothing to do with it. If I ever see, I'm looking for that panda every which way. I'll be like, where that damn bear
knocking on your door.
Yo, that'll be scary, right? Knock on my door, I open my door, and there's that panda
sitting right there like this.
Bro, I'll kick that crap. I'll kick that crap so far in them rocks. I ain't dealing with her no more. You try to kill me. You ain't got no papers on me. So, Brent, take us out, man. We can hit the end button. What we saying? What we saying? We ain't saying nothing.
Well, I don't really have too much to say other than the House of Creed. We all the gentlemen on this line. Me some days. But anyway, the House of Creed. They have launched a new fragrance, and I would like to get all of your addresses so I can send you a sample of the new fragrance that Creed has just came out with.
Absolutely. Okay. I will definitely.
God bless.
You know, I work for Neiman Marcus. So,
hallelujah.
Absolutely.
I'm going
to cool,
I'm about to send it to you right now.
It smells really good.
Cool.
Send it, put it in the Facebook
Messenger.
Messenger.
Or just text it to you?
That too.
Yeah, I forgot I got your number.
Yes. In that. And
All right. Well, with all that being said, this is the Good Samaritan Show. We are on YouTube, still live, and Facebook. We're going to be up here. I'm going to have this thing set up. We will officially have the Good Samaritans page. We will no longer be on KJ Stencil. We will have the Good Samaritans page. Yours truly has embarked into the new realm and occupation of motivational speaker, and I've started on TikTok as well as on Facebook, but I am pursuing that as well. I feel that that's going to be something good for the brand as well. Just send up one for me, man. That's another venture that I know I'm phenomenal at, and it uplifts me too when I uplift people. So y'all keep
cool, bro. Congrats.
Do your big thing, guys.
Yeah, there's money in that. Great. But that's not what I'm doing. It will.
That's the first step before you start preaching.
What? I'm a pastor.
Yes, man. Don't you start with me. We gotta get off here. Don't you start with me. Don't start with me.
I ain't saying nothing.
Hey, you and God go somewhere. Don't you come over. Don't you start that mess over here. Now. You leave me alone. Don't about your business.
Else to say. That's
you over here tapping in. You tap out. You tap a rule.
I don't feel like crying tonight.
It won't be none of that, I promise you.
Yeah, you already started.
Lord.
I believe it.
No, it ain't none of that.
As soon as we hit the end, he's gonna be, Kevin, the Lord just
And that's exactly how we start.
Exactly.
I understand that things have not been, what you saw before, but the Lord is just going to open this door for you. And I just want you to know right now that if you don't walk through it, I'm going to push you through it. Hey.
What's that conversation you had about moving?
Yeah. How long do you think you're going to be in Las Vegas? How long? Because Kevin, I see you in big places, because I already told you that you're going to be in Europe. You're not going to do a lot in the United States. So,
and Kevin, while you're there in Vegas, don't get comfortable.
Yeah, I know. I see you sitting down and you're comfortable and you have your little computers.
Got the little panda in your hand.
You got the panda and you're full of MSG and I understand. But the Lord wants you to know He wants you to try new things, and you're gonna be leaving soon.
I just be asking questions. That's all.
Your questions always come as a demand, my brother.
They're loaded.
No. Your questions got 9mm access.
I mean,
your joint be like, so Kevin, what is it that you really see for
this question? Mandatory is mandatory actions.
Hey, Avery, what do you really see for yourself in this particular time?
No.
Well, if Brent ain't gonna say it, I will. We want to thank y'all tonight for being on the Good Samaritan Show, and remember to always Brent go. I'm gonna say it, and then you gotta finish. All right, so here we go. This is gonna be good. All right, I'm gonna say it, and you gotta finish it. We're going off on the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna sign off, and what we want to say is remember to always
clean your butt.
Good night.